fresher than my motherfucking clit. Clit. All these bad bitches, man, they want the. Bump, 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 bump. Day. What are you thinking about this morning, Day? Do you want to tell me what you think this morning? What do you think this morning? No, you stay. He hates it.
He hates pictures.
He doesn't. He's like, no pictures. No pictures, please. I'm an indigenous dinosaur. What's he got?
No, just little,
Matt?
no, like little things stuck in there.
Oh. Why are you so crazy?
Little Velcro mat rolling around.
Shalom. Good morning. Bad faith Paul Atreides. Cool. I mean, I'd rather have good faith Paul Atreides, but I mean, we have Paul Atreides here. It's just bad faith Paul Atreides. I'm okay with that, though.
Got any more crusties in your back? Twigs.
Twigs, leaves. Sick shirt. I know. Good old Pink Floyd, right? Just the Pink Floyd aesthetic alone. There are people out there that don't even like Floyd that end up representing themselves as Pink Floyd fans just because the aesthetic is so tight.
Let's see if your coffee is ready.
Thank you, baby. Does it trip you out that your morning routine is part of other people's morning routines? I haven't thought about it. I hadn't thought about it that way, but that does kind of trip me out now that you mentioned it. Now that you put it that way. Boom, 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 boom. The Iranian president died during your last stream. Did he? As I was shitting on Iran, as I was pooping on Iran, the Iranian president was killed? Really? Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Any tips on how I can get my dad to stop getting super jealous every time my sister and I sleep together? Oh man, let him watch. Set up a cuck tent next to the bed and let him lay in it. Whoops. Bright-eyed and bushy-bearded. I guess so. Good morning. All these bad bitches, man, they want the boom, 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 boom. Ain't nobody fresher than my motherfucking click. And all these bad bitches, man, they want the dick. They want the... Dude, hair, please. Hair, please. I'm sick of having you in my face, but I don't know how to get you out of My face. Getting a haircut today. I think I might need to go get a trim. It's starting to get a little bit like too shaggy. I might need to go get like a little inch taken off. Oh God. Mommy's a Trumpist. The Trumpists don't deserve you, Mommy. Those Trumpists would have no idea what to do with you if they had you, okay? You're hanging with a bunch of slobs. I need a haircut. My hair looks like ass right now. Baby, thank you.
He's first with the water, and then it'll probably be easier to do it with water than coffee.
Yeah. Thank you, baby. Fish oil, horse pill. Down the hatch. Oh, that was easy. Fistful of blood pressure / mental health medications. Down the hatch. We're good. Look at that. Look at that. We're handled, guys. We've got what we need. Why don't you get a ponytail? I don't like it. I don't like the way I look with my hair in a ponytail. You want to see what I would look like if I put my hair in a ponytail? Watch this. Hey guys. Hey guys, it's Paul's ego. Blah, 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 blah. No. No. Pass. I don't like it.
Man munned it up for a little bit, and then you kind of got sick of it.
When my hair got longer than this down to here, I had to start, like, every once in a while you whip it up into a thing.
Yeah.
Would you ever dredge your hair? No. Does weed affect your meds? I know it helps me deal with my steroids. No, I don't know. I don't think so. Thank you so much for the coffee, baby.
Oh, come on.
Jesus Christ, I need that coffee. Just the smell of it has awakened something inside of me. What kind of cigarettes do I smoke? The tobacco type. Would you ever go on Ozempic? The whole story about Ozempic, okay? My doctor's office has been trying to get me on Ozempic. At first, I was kind of supportive of it because I was like, I had started my health journey and stuff, and I was like, yeah, man, if you can give me a shot in the ass once every couple of weeks and it makes me lose weight, fucking hey, I'll do it. And they were like, yeah, it's the standard of care, and blah, 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 and they would prescribe it, and my insurance would go, no, he can't have that, he's not diabetic. So they'd send it again. Send it again, send it again. They tried to send Wegovy because that's the one for fat people. Even though it's the same drug. It's literally the same drug at the same dose.
Well, it's a different dose. Yeah.
Whatever. They tried to do Wegovy. Insurance was like, no. And so, at that point, right, I was like, well, you know, I guess we got to try something else. But this doctor and the office, God, they must get a kickback from Wegovy. Because every time I go in there, they're like, Wegovy? Ozempic? And they're like, they'll read it off of my meds. They'll be like, you're on this, and Wegovy. And I'm like, no, I'm not on Wegovy. I'm not on Ozempic. Oh, did you ever pick that up or what? It's like they never have heard what has happened. I've told them 1,000,000 times now.
She was like trying to demand the letter that we got.
Oh yeah, she was like, show me that letter. And I was like, I don't have it. And she's like, oh, I've heard through the grapevine that you can get it from Canada. And I'm like, are you telling me to go illegally get Ozempic from Canada? Like, why are you? And so anyway, this was the last straw for me. If it gets brought up again, there's a peace of mind coming to my doctor. I've lost weight, right? I go in. The last time they saw me, I was like 370 pounds and dying, right? I come in having not seen them in 3 or 4 months. My whole health has flipped around. I've lost 30 plus pounds, right? I'm telling them with my mouth, holy shit, I feel better. I got on CPAP. Everything's great. I'm losing weight. I'm eating way better. You know what that lady said? Are you interested in Ozempic? And I was like, why would I need Ozempic? I'm losing weight. And she said, well, if it slows down or you lose your willpower. And I was like, in my mind, you know, I was like, who the fuck are you? So you have a patient that just came into you. The last time you saw him, he was dying. You see him this time, he's vibrant, alive, lighter. His body is in better shape. His blood pressure and everything about him is better. And yet you're still like, do you want a drug to help you do what you're doing? Yeah, it's a kickback thing, and I'm sick of it. She's not getting a Wegovy kickback off of me. I'm kind of with my fucking insurance on this. I feel like if you're going to get on Wegovy or Ozempic for being fat, you need to have like other things going on that prevent you from trying. Maybe. But it's just like, you have a realization that I go to this place in good faith thinking that I'm sitting across a person whose number one like priority is my good health. And all these years later, I'm still going to doctors with that feeling in my heart. I'm going to a professional, went to school a long time, and wants me to be healthy. But the truth of the matter is, I'm going to a person a lot of the time that just wants to make a bunch of fucking money. And gets kickbacks from these drug companies for endlessly prescribing people. Everybody's got a little weight problem. Oh, Wegovy. Oh, you got about 20, 30 extra pounds on you? Wegovy. Ozempic. $800, $800 for every prescription, probably. Kickback. That's all I give a fuck about.
The one that you liked was the young doctor because she hadn't been reached by the pharmaceutical reps yet.
Mm-hmm. So the way I go to a doctor's office that is a residency clinic. So it's doctors. These are actual doctors, not trainees, but they're doctors that are doing a physician's residency at the hospital clinic. And they do that for a year or two, and then they can go and have their own practice. And so so what happens is you will see a younger doctor when you go in there. And that doctor, that lady, the last one, she was great. Oh my God, she was so like encouraging and like, oh my God, you're doing really well. I'm so glad to see this. Good for you. You know, and then but the thing is, she does a treatment plan, and then they have to have the attending physician, who is the big doctor on campus, the one that's kind of overseeing the residency team. They come in and talk to you and look over your charts and check off on the treatment plan. And so that was the lady. It was the resident that came in. After this lady had already pumped me up and said, good job, and wow, keep doing what you're doing. You look great. You sound great. This lady came in and was like, do you want Wegovy? Do you want Ozempic? Do you think that when your willpower fades and your weight loss slows down and starts to reverse, you might want Wegovy? It's like, who are you? Fucking farmer rep, not a doc. Give me a doctor.
Not once do they recommend you to a dietitian.
Nope. Fat as the moon. Walking in there telling them I feel like I'm dying at 370 pounds. Never once even talked to me about a dietitian. Never once even talked to me about going to see a food addiction specialist. Never once talked to me about going to see a weight loss specialist that might be able to recommend me for surgery. Nothing. Wegovy, Wegovy, Wegovy. Fuckers.
Yeah. Maybe we should just draw our line in the sand. Like, you bring it up one more fucking time, we're done.
I'm telling the lady next time. I'm going to say, I want you to put on my chart that I am not interested in Wegovy or Ozempic, and I don't want to be asked again. Thank you. And if they got a point with that, I'll walk right the fuck out and get another doctor. I give a fuck. Ask your doctor if Wegovy is right for you. I never get a chance. She always asks first. Didn't get an inch of help from doctor and recommendation for a psychiatrist, counselor, even though the symptoms I explained to him required therapy more than medication. I'm in the same boat. See, I'm on the other end. I've had years and years of therapy. I still had, from time to time, it's better now, but still has it, still happens, horrible anxiety. I went in there to ask them, can I get on a daily dose of Xanax or something that I can take when I'm fucking like wanting to claw my face off? Is there a pill that I could take that would calm me? And they treated me like I was a drug seeker. They treated me like I was a person that was coming in there and making shit up to get Xannies. It's fucked.
They have this, like, list of people, and, like, they have, like, all these red flags that don't seem to make sense. Like, if you miss an appointment, that's a red flag.
Yeah, it's like, they, like, and it was that way. The first time I went and saw it, the first physician that saw me, the resident, the one that was doing their residency, was like, we're going to get you on some Xanax. You need a spot treatment for your anxiety. Clearly, you're having lockdown panic attacks. We're going to get you on some Xanax. She wrote it down. The doctor comes in and goes, we're not going to do that. Crossed it off and gave me propranolol. Do you know what propranolol is? It is a minor blood thinner. It's a blood thinner. You can take these when you have a panic attack. Do you know what they do? Nothing.
That was hydroxyzine.
Hydroxyzine. Yeah. My bad.
Propranolol is what I take.
Yeah.
And that, I feel like, helps me, because it's a beta blocker that slows down blood.
Well, whatever they gave me nothing. Did nothing for me. It was like a worthless pill prescription. I've told them that now. They don't care. They will not, under any circumstances, prescribe me Xanax or any kind of mental health medication.
Didn't they tell you alcohol?
Huh?
Didn't they tell you alcohol too?
Yeah. Do you ever have a beer or two? I was like, I was a binge drinker and I'm the son of an alcoholic. So no, I don't. Really. Were they trying to, they were telling me to go drink beer rather than give me Xanax. They did give you something, a bill. True. Yeah, my copay still got paid. Unreal, right? Unbelievable and sad and depressing and fucked. Do you ever have a couple of beers after work? Or you might, very relaxing. Without even asking me what my alcohol history is.
Yeah. Some drugs are the push drugs, other ones are the naughty drugs.
You know what they were most concerned about? Me smoking marijuana. I wore a pair of socks that have weed leaves on them one day, and they were doing my examination and wanted to look at this, that, or the other thing, and I had to take my shoes off, and my socks were there, and they were like, oh, do you smoke cannabis? And I was like, yes, ma'am, I do. It's one of the only things that I can do that help. You really want to watch that. We're going to want you to go ahead and kind of try and taper that back as you feel better, okay? They were concerned about weed, and then in the same conversation told me I should have a few beers when I'm feeling stressed. DFF used to be edgy, badass. Now they soften their language so as to not trigger anyone. Why are you here then?
I dare you to find the softness the past few episodes.
He's talking about me not using the word faggot
Oh.
with every breath I take, and me not using edgy racial jokes and stuff like that. Is that what you want? You're bored? But you're not bored. You're bored like a board you build a fence with? I think you're dumb. I think that might be the problem. Dumb, I wouldn't know, but I bet dumb is boring. So I think it might not even be boredom, my friend. I think it might be dum-dum. Dum-dum.
Like, there's plenty of edge. It's just not as many gamer words. Like,
yeah. Like, you just need to hear gamer words all day. I am dumb. Well, at least you know it. Dumb as a rock. Dumb as a board. Yeah, I think dum-dum is your problem, my friend. And you know what the cure for that is? Crack a book. Have you tried having a few beers?
you can start by reading the label on the beer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, learn to read the label on the beer. And then you can graduate to a pamphlet, and then maybe even a book one day. You're gonna change to a different PCP and try again. I have done that so many times. I just don't care anymore because I am on a slew of medications that I do need to regulate my blood pressure, my heart rate, and my mental health, and they will provide those. So I really don't care.
Yeah.
I don't need anything else from them now. Unless they get my blood work back and I've got horrible cancer or something, they got nothing for me.
I'm in the same boat. Like, I don't really particularly like mine, but she refills the prescriptions, so I just fucking do it.
Yep. I know that the meds that I'm on help to regulate my mental health and my physical problems, and so I go back every couple of months to see them to make sure that, you know, I get my meds. And that's all I care about. They really got nothing for me beyond that.
They hold you hostage for those refills, man.
Oh, yeah. They've been like that, too. They've got me on a medication. I'm on a medication called metoprolol. And it's for a genetic condition, rapid heartbeat. Runs on my mom's side of the family. So even with my blood pressure in check, my resting heartbeat unmedicated is something like between 95 and 120 beats a minute. Unmedicated. That's really rapid. They want you between 85 and 95. Or
much lower.
Or much lower, right. And my heartbeat is really rapid. It's just a genetic thing. And so I'm on a medication called metoprolol that regulates my heart rate. That makes my heart beat slower, like a normal person's heart. And I've run out of that drug waiting for refills. And had to call that office one time and use the man voice on them to get my meds. I called a nurse and I told her, I have been now off of my heart medication for 5 days, ma'am. Can you tell me what the ETA is on a doctor signing off on my refill request, please? Well, I don't know. I can leave a note for the doctor. I said, ma'am, if you'll check, there's already 2 or 3 of those. Do you think you might be able to walk and flag down a doctor and get that signature for me? Because I'm on heart medication. My heart's beating out of my chest, ma'am. My heart's going about 120 beats a minute, ma'am. Do you think a doctor might be able to send a signature to my pharmacy so I could get a refill on my heart medication, ma'am? I had to go there to get that woman to stand up out of her chair, walk into the next room and talk to a doctor. And guess what? When she did that, the refill went through. What's the man voice? The man voice is just that. It's a sad fact about reality that sometimes people are motivated by a man's angsty, kind of angry, not even angry, directness. The deep bassy voice, the tone that I take when I'm angry and trying to hold it back, this tone works really well at getting customer service people to pay the fucking attention that they need to get you what you need.
Yeah, I had to tell you what the man voice was last summer.
You
didn't
taught
believe
me, yeah, you taught me the man voice.
You're like, surely not. Sure enough, when
Yep.
I called, it was 3 business days before our AC could get fixed. When you called, suddenly it was the same day.
Yeah, they were there that day. You called. We were supposed to, and they told us, "Oh, we can get a guy out there Tuesday or Wednesday." It's like Saturday.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to swelter in 120-degree heat with no AC, working from home. So you call, and that's the best they can do. I pick up the phone and I say, "How are you guys going to compensate me for lost work? Because it's 95 degrees in my home and I can't do my job."
Yeah, well, because I told you, like, can you please use the man voice? And you're like, what's the man voice?
Yeah. And I just called them and I said, "Hey, I work from home. I haven't had AC for 2 days and you guys are dithering and telling me it's going to be next week. Can you call somebody and get them out here now, please? I work from home and I can't do my job and I'm losing money. You know the money that I pay you every month? If I can't make it, you don't get it. So you might want to get somebody out here today to fix my AC so that my house is not uninhabitable." "Oh yeah, hold on, I'll make a phone call." And that day they're out. See? The man voice. Unfortunate, but a nice superpower to know that you have. I had to do it again yesterday with our landlord. Yesterday. I've got a leaking toilet that I didn't catch until it leaked through the wall and into the next room. And I called them and reported it as soon as I saw it. They didn't even call back.
Like, we have active water damage in the home.
There is $3,000, ma'am, worth of sheetrock replacement damage in your home. If I was the owner of this home, I'd want to fix that before it turned into $6,000. "Oh, yeah, well, at first, you know what she told me? You're berating me." I went, "What?" No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm not berating you. I'm berating the house that I'm living in and paying $2,300 a month for, though. I'm berating that. This house falling into its own footprint, ma'am. And if I was the owner and I did a quick tour of this house, I would be livid. And I just went through it. I said, there's thousands of dollars of water damage on the outside of this house.
Inside of the garage.
Inside of the garage, there's black mold and a hole in the roof and water damage. Water pours into the garage when it rains. The fences are falling apart. I've had to prop this one up because the wind blows it over. On and on and on. The house is not sealed, so roaches, earwigs, anything that runs around out here at night comes right up under the door, right up under the windows. It goes on and on. It's just like these things we've showed you, we've told you for 3 years that we've lived here. All of these things. And you fixed not one of them? And I told her this too. I said, you know what the only consistency that I've noticed, ma'am, is that every year my rent goes up. Every year you increase my rent, but the value decreases. I'm now living in a house that's falling into its footprint for the 3rd year, ma'am, and I'm not going to do it anymore. And all of a sudden, now we're moving. Now the landlord is going to send the guy out immediately. Now they're going to look at all of the stuff. Oh, there's no gutters on the house? That's a problem. You didn't know that? Aren't you the landlord? You didn't know that every time it rains, water cascades down the outside of this house like a waterfall? And her reaction when I got exasperated at living in a house that I'm paying out the ass for that's falling down around me was to tell me I was berating her. "Sir, it's Sunday and you're berating me." I told Amelia 10 years ago, I went, "Oh, you want to hear berating? Fuck you, cunt." And that check would have been late. I'm not paying rent on a place I can't live in. If, dude, 10 years ago, I would have said, "Fuck you, cunt." And I would have called the city and been like, "I'm living in black mold in my and my landlord won't do anything. Can you send an inspector? Oh, they'd have had a trouble with me. I just showed her what berating was, but you get more flies with honey. She's never been berated. She's never been on the other end of a Paul's ego berating. 10 years ago, that's what she would have got. Yesterday, I'm more mature. I'm a more confident man. I know when anger is needed and necessary and when it is not. And so I apologized to her and I said, ma'am, that is not my intention. My intention is not to berate you. My intention in calling the emergency phone contact number is to let you know that there are thousands of dollars worth of damage being done to this house just from neglect. And I don't want you or the owner of this house to look at me like I'm responsible. And once I did that, she was like, I understand, sir. I appreciate that. Blah, blah, blah. And then we got business. Right? Amelia usually deals with them because I do not like dealing with people. I get really angry and really impulsive when I feel like I'm paying good money and I'm being good faith on my end and somebody's fucking me. But sometimes that's needed. And if it is, I'm the guy.
I mean, I'm just a soft-spoken person.
But that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's sad that nobody takes seriously what you need because, or not nobody, but some people. All these bad bitches, man, they want the dick.
Maybe that should be a like voice filter. That could be like a little app, the voice app.
Man voice. It's not even the voice though. It's the attitude.
Yeah.
I know how to deal with.
Well, maybe
customer
like
service.
kind of like an on-demand thing. Like, do you need a man to talk to someone
Oh,
for you? Like, do like a little contractor thing. Hire a man to do a phone call.
Let me
for
know
you.
the issue, and I will call the landlord / city / anything, and I'll get something moving for you. I've had to use it quite a bit this year. The car, that whole debacle, had to man voice that one. Now this landlord shit, my doctor, it's like man voice, man voice, man voice, man voice, man voice, man voice, man voice. It's like nobody wants to move. No customer service will get done unless you man voice it. It's kind of sad that it's that way, but
And it doesn't matter who it is. Like our property manager lady is a woman, but she still respects the man voice more than a woman's voice.
I gotta be honest with you, after having used it a few times, women are way more susceptible to the man voice. There's something about it. It's very easy for women to blow other women off. I don't know what it is. Sadly, most people won't inconvenience themselves for you until you make it more inconvenient for them. I mean, that is the truth. With something like this, I feel like, and maybe this is just my work ethic, I feel like if I was I have been a landlord. I owned a condo that I rented out through a property company just like this one, right? And when they would call me with something like, oh, the toilet broke, we need to buy a new toilet, I would always just say, yes, immediately, get them a toilet, of course. And so the carpets in there are years and years old, you need to recarpet. Okay, do it. You know, so my property was kept up. I wasn't renting, I'm not a slumlord. I wasn't renting a ramshackle house that was falling into the ground. This is getting close to being a slumlord situation in the middle of a upscale neighborhood. I've got a house that's crawling with bugs at night because it's unsealed, that's leaking from every hole. It's got black mold in it. I'm starting to feel like I'm living in a slum in the middle of a fucking nice neighborhood. These people are going to work. And I hate to say it, but the owner of this house is probably going to be pissed.
Unless they're the type that have just been like, nah.
Yeah, even if they are.
Yeah.
They're about to get about a $10,000 repair bill. They're going to have to rip out the sheetrock in my bedroom. They're going to have to rip out a whole wall of that garage and replace it. I owned a home. I know what this damage costs. I know what water damage left unchecked will do to a home. It'll rot your whole wall out, and then your roof. And it's been sitting here rotting for 3 years, through 3 seasons of heavy rains and hot weather. This house has been fucked. And the people that own it haven't done one thing other than fix our fucking air conditioning. Not one. They have not come out to... the sprinkler system is busted and has been for a year. In the summer, the lawn dies.
I have to resod that whole thing, bare minimum.
Yeah, this yard might be salvageable. The backyard is hardpan and dandelions. All the Bermuda is dead. We've called them twice, filled out the thing, and told them, like, your lawn is dead. Oh, we'll send somebody. They never send somebody.
They said the gardeners were gonna fix it. Like
the gardener came out and like tweaked this. It's not this. It's the box on the wall that the master controller is broken. And I've told them this. They sound like trash. They are. Like I told them, the only consistency I've noticed from them is that every year they send me a letter telling me how much my rent is going up. Not this year. Nope. How do you choose your live stream names? Whatever thing is in my head.
Yeah, we were talking about Cystypigs before.
Yeah, Amelia mentioned Cystypigs from the Outer Worlds. We were laughing at how gross that was, and I just named it Cystypig. Are you happy to be leaving? Oh, fuck, yeah. I'm happy.
We're not going to tell them that. We're going to make them think that we're going to stand our ground until...
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to tell them I'm planning on leaving in a few months. Until they get 1 month from me. And not a day more. If they were good to me, I'd let them know now. Hey, it looks like late summer, we're probably out of here. So that they could start making repairs and getting the property ready for another person. They're getting a month. Because that's what's on my contract. To the day. The day that it is 1 month, I will call them and let them know. We're leaving. You guys live in the South? No, we live in California. My bad about yesterday won't happen again. I don't even remember what happened yesterday, buddy. It's cool. Water under the bridge. When was the last time you run for 20 meter? I don't really do much running. I know you probably tell that by looking at me. I'm an overweight guy. I am losing weight and doing exercise and stuff, but yeah,
no running.
Yeah, I probably couldn't run very, very far. Yeah.
Running's not that great for you, anyways.
Well, I mean, it can be, but
like that's a hard on your joints and shit.
California can be south, no. Well,
Southwest is totally different from the Southeast.
Yep. No, California is the West. I haven't watched in like 5 years. I need to catch up on the lore. Yeah. There's a lot of lore you missed if you missed 5 years worth.
Yeah, it's not as lore dependent as the previous show was, so you don't have to worry about that
Yep.
as much. But
Running is not great for you. What? It's really bad for your joints, your hips. Like runners tend to be crippled in old age because they wear the cartilage in their joints out from the impact of boom, 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 boom constantly. I mean, it's not bad for you. Obviously, it's, you know, if that's what you love to do, go wear your joints out because it's better for your heart, but it's not great for you. It's high impact exercise. And for people, you know what I mean? For people that are already obese like me and are trying to lose it, you can't just go from 370 pounds to running. There's a whole program they call Couch to 5K. Have you ever heard that? Where it's like you go from a couch potato to a person that can jog a 5K. But it's a 1.5 year long program. Yeah, runners are very thin, right? So like if you look at a runner body, runners are ultra thin. They don't even really have much muscle mass because it's a weight ratio fight that they're having. They are having a fight to continuously push their weight forward. And so the less they weigh, the better. You want a 300-pound man plus to go run? And then you're going to make fun of me when I say that it's really hard on you to do that? Okay. All right, buddy. That sounds right. Then start with jogging. Jogging is just running, my friend.
it's just slower running.
It's like me saying, dude, I don't have wings, I can't fly. Then just try gliding. I can't glide. You got it, buddy? I know you probably came in here and saw a fat guy and were like, I'm gonna make this guy feel bad about himself. But it's like, you're gonna have to come up with a better one. I'm a fat guy that's exercising every day, and I've lost 30 pounds in the last 3 months, and I'm dropping it. I'm getting better, so you're gonna have to find a better one for me, my friend. You want to feel better about yourself today, you're going to probably have to find a different fat guy to poke fun at, because I know what I'm talking about. It's funny having a fat dude try and talk about running. I was actually a runner in my younger age. I was a competitive runner. I was a track and field runner. I was a soccer player. You don't know anything about me.
There's also something else that happens to runners. The nipple chafing. Have you heard of that?
I've gotten it. The wetness of your shirt. Your shirt starts to rub against your nipples when you run. They get raw. You can wear a wicking material. Runners will wear a wicking shirt that takes the water and kind of carries it away from the spot where it came so that it doesn't build up here and rub you raw on your chest. Paul couldn't run a bath. Good one. Couldn't that cause nipple blisters? Yeah, it would cause sores on people's nipples.
Yeah, there's people that you see running through the finish line just soaked in blood.
Yeah, blood coming out of their nipples. If the number goes up on the scale, don't worry about it. Just keep it up. I don't have a scale. I get weighed at doctor's offices. I don't obsess over what my weight is day to day. I hadn't checked my weight in 6 months. I went from 370-ish to 330. What's your weight goal? Around 230, I would say, is about as thin as I'd really want to bother with. But my immediate, my short-term goal is to get under 300 pounds. Why don't you try weed instead of Viber? This is weed. I don't know what Viber is, but this is weed. I just happen to be, I usually smoke a big joint on the show. I don't know if you're new. You probably are. You seem like a guy that wandered in and was like, there's a fat person to berate. But now you've been wrong twice about your assumptions about me. Damn, homeboy, you chilling. I am chilling. I'm trying to chill, but you're kind of being a mean asshole. Why is that? What made you come in here today? Have you thought about it? What made you come in here today and say mean shit to me? Like, oh, look at this fat guy. Oh, you need to run. When's the last time you ran 20 meters? Like, what did I say or do to you to deserve that as another human being? I'm just wondering, what do you get out of it? I don't do that to people, I don't like hop into people's lives and be like, oh, what a fat, weird, fucking ugly bitch. Try to see your reaction. Well, at least you're being honest. I bet you didn't like get, no, don't tell me to stop giving him attention. This is, I talk to these people. It's okay. I don't think he's actually that unreasonable. He's actually being honest now. And that's cool. I mean, do you care that it's hurtful to that person's feelings? Do you care that that person might be a person that's been like battling a disease or like a weight problem their whole lives and they've really tried, and that it might really hurt their feelings to have you come in and just like point out for no reason an anonymous person how fat and ugly they are? Does that ever cross your mind, or do you really just not care? I'm just wondering. Sorry if I caused you pain. Didn't mean it. No, it's okay, dude. You didn't really. Yeah, because I'm a guy that's like, I've been called those names and I've had that stuff said to me so many times, and I'm like 44, so sticks and stones and all that. I was just wondering, because if I had been a different person, you might have really hurt my feelings by bringing that up. I just wonder if you ever think about that, because you probably do that to other people. Am I the only guy that you've ever like done that to? I imagine not. Probably. You like getting reactions out of people, but do you ever wonder if like that human being there is like hurt by what you're saying? And maybe they went like after the show and just like cried their eyeballs out about what you had to say about them because they were just so ashamed? I bet it's happened, man. Does that make you feel okay? Is that the kind of person that you want to be even in your anonymity? For me, I know the answer is no. I know the answer is I don't want to be that kind of person, but I'm wondering about you. I think when he said try jogging, he didn't realize you weren't into the exercising tips. No, he put a big raffle Mao emoji. He was like, when's the last, he didn't ask me, hey, should you try jogging? He said, when's the last time you ran 20 meters, and a big laughing emoji. Like, oh, look at this fatty, I bet he can't even move kind of deal. Shit, yeah, I do, but it's like a joke. I never thought Western are so sensitive. I'm not. Like I said, I'm not speaking from my own feelings, right? You did not hurt my feelings. If you did, I probably would have just banned you or something, right? But I was just asking. It's cool. We can move on. I get it. I'm just saying, like, Easterners are sensitive too, or wherever you're from. Your name is Salman, so I'm gonna assume a Middle Eastern man. You know that you have feelings as well, and when people say hurtful things to you, it hurts your feelings in the same way that it hurts a Westerner. Salman is an Indian name. My bad. I did not know. So you're an Indian guy. There are probably many, many hurtful things. I mean, I'm sure you have people in your life that you care about, that you love. If they were to say hurtful things to you, it would hurt your feelings. If you were to be walking on the street and somebody who you couldn't accost or couldn't get back to just called your wife an ugly cunt or called you a dumb bitch or something, you would probably be mad and hurt by that. You know what I mean? Nope, I am not from the East. Well, you just said Westerners are so sensitive. So where are you from then, if you wouldn't mind? You don't have to say. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Bro is just doubling down. He really isn't. He's having a conversation. I feel like he's being in good faith. I'm just asking questions. Yeah, because if you're not from the East and you're not from the West, where are you from, sir? As far as I know, the North and South Pole are uninhabited. The name Salman is an Arabic name for boys. It means safe, secure, protected. It comes from the Arabic word salam, which means peace or safety. Cool. I did not know that. That makes sense. I've heard the word salam. You're sweet. Am I being sweet? Okay, cool. Troll or not a troll. Neighbor talking tough, buddy sweet, had to cut my heat. I just wanna bust down my door, VVS on my feet. Got a little dink. Yeah, my wrist so cold and my eyes so froze, and I'd die for you.
Keep it.
Yeah, my wrist so cold and my eyes so froze. Yeah, I'd die for you. Oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, 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 oh. There was an author who wrote the Satanic Bible called Salman Rushdie. Did you know that? You ever heard of that guy? I think it's called the Satanic Bible. Salman Rushdie. I've read the book, and I remember he was kind of like an author and a public figure kind of guy. He would go on shows. The Satanic Verses, thank you, that's what it is. Thank you, yeah. When can we see the glow up? You're looking at it, baby. This is as glowy as it gets. That's the Talmud. Huh. Oh, hell no. What's wrong with that, Salman? Salman is not happy today. He's not happy that I'm overweight, and he's not happy about Salman Rushdie. What time is it over there? It is 8:56 in the morning on the West Coast. The beautiful, beautiful West Coast. Do you think high cap magazine bans work in any meaningful way? Absolutely not. No, sir. I think that they're stupid, pointless, and I think that liberals have done these kind of high cap bans and these banana mag bans and these bump stock bans to act like they're actually taking action on gun control when really all they're doing is just shuffling around parts, you know? It's not a high cap mag that kills people. It's not a banana clip that kills people. It's not a fucking hair trigger that kills people. I just think that if you're gonna get a gun, you ought to be able to do whatever you want to it. As long as you know how to be safe with it, you want a hair trigger gun, you want an illegal gun with no safety, I think you ought to be able to have whatever the fuck you want with your guns. It doesn't make sense to me that you, as a law-abiding citizen, can't go buy a high-capacity magazine or something, but then a dude can just get one on the black market and go kill a bunch of people anyway, and you had no plans to do any such thing with it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. What about rocket launchers? Yeah, I think that there's a reasonability clause, right? So it's like, yeah, no tanks, no nukes, no rocket launchers, no grenade launchers. I don't think anybody needs to have that shit around. But you want a gun? Go get it, man, as far as I'm fucking concerned. You want to put a scope on it. You want to put a bump stock on it. You want to fucking get a new receiver that's a little quicker. You want a drum mag up underneath it so it's fucking heavier than shit, wobbles around a lot, kicks a lot when you shoot it. I'm fine with that, man. Why are California gun laws so restricted than most? Because we've been dealing with liberals for a long time out here in the West, and liberals don't really want to do anything about the gun problem that we have in this country. The gun problem we have, by the way, is not people owning guns. It is certain people who are mentally unstable and violent being able to get their hands on guns. And to a lesser but more egregious extent, it's people not storing their guns properly so their kids get them and kill themselves or kill other people, accidentally or deliberately, right? That's our gun problem. We have a mass shooting problem in this country, which means that we have people that are profoundly, profoundly, profoundly mentally ill, that in a lot of states are able to just like walk into a gun show and walk out with a big fucking rifle. I don't think that should be the case, right? I don't think that anything should stand between you, a law-abiding citizen, and getting your gun, but I do think there needs to be a process of licensure. What kind of weed would you suggest for a newbie? Want to try it? Well, I don't know where you are in the world, so I don't know. What can you get? Are you here in the United States, Salman? I mean, you don't have to tell me, but if you tell me what part of the world you're in, I can tell you what kind of stuff I think they might have that might be good. I don't mind answering the question, but you're gonna have to help. Have you ever gone paintballing? I have not. I've done like laser tag, but I know that's not the same. Well, when I was a kid, obviously. Hey, Paul, just got out of prison for the last 5 years. Cool. Welcome out. The people who are most mentally ill are the least likely to get help for it, especially when they're poor. Yes. You're from Morocco. Bro, I don't know. Salman, I don't know what kind of stuff is available in Morocco. You might want to take like a little vacation to the United States, because then you can get any kind of weed you want. Then you could just try it all for yourself, you know? But I've never been to Morocco, sir, so I don't know that I could help you. I would say that I would guess that weed is very illegal in Morocco. My understanding that Morocco has a very, very strict kind of Islamist government with very strict like morality laws and public laws for decorum and stuff. Hell no, I don't want to get shot. I'm already black. Fair enough, Salman. Fair enough. I wish I could tell you that that probably won't happen to you, but as a black man, you're probably right. Europe, then. Maybe you won't get shot if you go to Europe. Could you go to like France or Germany or the UK? Or what? Morocco has medical cannabis? Oh, really? Well, there you go. You learn something every day, don't you? Hey man, I'm the same way, man. You want to own a gun and a law-abiding citizen? Go ahead, yeah. I just don't think that kids, people that are profoundly mentally ill, ought to be able to walk. It's like, all right, the dude I always bring up, and I don't mean to make fun, Adam Lanza, right? He did the Sandy Hook shooting, and he was able to perpetuate that shooting because his mother had an unsecured AR-15, and he was able to just take it out of the house, take it to the school, and kill a bunch of children and teachers, right? You can do this right now, right? Go type in Adam Lanza, okay? And just look at the picture of that young man. And I want you to tell me that it wouldn't be simple as fucking shit to keep that young man from getting his hands on a gun. That young man doesn't look like he could order a burger and fries in person. That young man looks like he's so profoundly sick and so profoundly socially maladapted that there is no way he could have even gone through the transaction of getting a gun. You see? There's no way that that young man should have been able to put his hands on a gun in this world, in this country. And the fact that his mother had such a profoundly sick young man living with her and had a big fucking hunting rifle just laying there with a bunch of ammo, it's like she was almost asking him to do something awful. And that can't happen. Adam Lanza's mother was killed in the attack. Had she not been, I would advocate for her to be in prison for the crimes he committed, because she facilitated those crimes. See, this is what I'm talking about. Some gun owners don't like it when I start talking about guns. They like it when I go like, oh yeah, I'm a Second Amendment guy. It is your right to buy a firearm if you want one. etc. They go, oh, based, okay. But then I go like, having a firearm is an incredibly, incredibly big, what do you call those? It's a big
Responsibility?
responsibility. Thank you. I was having a brain fart. Incredible responsibility. And if you fall down on that responsibility and somebody gets hurt, you don't get to have guns anymore. They hate that. They hate that because they want to be able to like accidentally shoot somebody and kill them and get an accidental manslaughter charge and then come back out and still have all their guns. Or they want to have their kid get into their gun because they left it laying out and shoot themselves in the head, and they want to cry on the news, but they still want to have their guns. No, you don't get your guns. They want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to have guns be a right, but they don't want any responsibility. Do you know that there's not a right enumerated in the Constitution that doesn't come with a hefty dose of responsibility, personal responsibility? Freedom of speech, right? I've talked about this. You can, in this country, say anything you want, but freedom of speech is not freedom from consequence, right? So a lot of people think that you can just yell the N-word at the top of your lungs out in public for a laugh, and the reality is, eventually somebody's going to walk up and knock your teeth out of your mouth. Now that's a crime. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm just saying freedom of speech is not freedom from consequence. You don't get to say anything you want and then have no consequence for your speech. For example, making a death threat against a public official. Can I do that right now? Yes, I can. Is it a First Amendment protected piece of speech? No, because it's inciting violence. It would be like the same thing. It's not my free speech to stand out in front of your house and call your mother a whore right in her face every time she gets up to go to work. There will be consequences to my speech. And there's a lot of like so-called free speech absolutists that want to ignore and abdicate the responsibility that comes with a right. You don't get that. You don't get that. If you have rights, they come with a responsibility. And you have a responsibility, if you want to exercise your right to own a firearm, to be well regulated. It's right there in the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia, that's what I take it to mean. That means you're licensed and you're safe. And you follow the laws about how and where you have to keep your guns so that children and Adam Lanza don't get their hands on it and kill a bunch of kindergartners. Okay? And if you're not willing to hold up your end of the right, you lose it. You lose it. When you get out of prison, serving your 2 or 3 year bid for the manslaughter of your own child, when you come out, you're on a list and you can no longer own a pistol. You have shown society that you are a danger because you are irresponsible and you cannot be trusted with the responsibility afforded to you by the Second Amendment. Period. Watch your mouth, you watch yours. Telling me to watch my mouth. How? Pull my fucking eyeballs out and turn them around? A little M&M for you. Should domestic abusers own firearms? Absolutely not. If you have a violent felony on your record, take everything I just said and apply it. I don't think violent felons should ever, ever, ever get to go buy a gun. If you are a fucking brolic asshole that's beat on his wife and went to prison for it, I don't care what kind of Christian conversion you had, your dumb ass is volatile. You don't get no guns. See, there are millions and millions of people out here that have never hurt nobody, never punched nobody. They're not brolic in public. They don't defraud people. They don't commit violent felonies. Right? Those people have shown that they have the responsibility, restraint, and adult nature to take on the huge burden of responsibility that is owning a firearm and keeping it safely. As soon as you show that you're a kid, as soon as you show that society has to come in and clean up a mess that was made with a gun that you own, or a mess that you made with your hands beating on somebody, you don't get to have a gun. What about nonviolent felons? Nonviolent felons are fine. You do a white-collar crime, you embezzle money or something, that's not you showing me that you are reckless with a gun. That's you showing me that you probably shouldn't be working in the financial industry ever again. But that's up to the financial industry. Let me tell you this, if you're like an accountant and you get 5 years for embezzlement, good luck finding a job as an accountant. See, this is how it works in life, but a lot of gun advocates don't want guns to work the same way. I do. I want guns to work like every other thing, just like your car. You get caught drunk driving twice, you don't ever get a license again, buddy. You're fucked. Everybody's got a right to drive, but when you've shown that you're not capable of handling the huge responsibility of screaming down the road in a 2,000-pound vehicle that can kill people, you've shown that you're a drunk and an idiot that doesn't care about people, you don't get to fucking drive. It's already that way. So guess what? Same thing with guns, buddy. Same thing with guns. You want one? Go get it. But be responsible. Be responsible. Because if somebody in your house is drunk and flipping it around and you shoot somebody in the leg, that oopsie just cost you your guns, buddy. There goes your Second Amendment. You want to have a gun? Show that you can abide by the laws of society. You want a gun? Show that you have the restraint not to beat the fuck out of people and be a brolic asshole. You want to own a gun? Show that you're smart enough to keep it up away from children. You show me that you're not any of those things, you don't get a fucking gun. You don't get shit. If I had my way, you'd have a parole officer the rest of your life that did a monthly search of your home to make sure you didn't get a gun. Guns are not a joke. Guns are not a toy. Guns are not a cool thing to whip out when you're drunk and show your friends. Check this out. Oh, hold up, guys. I'm just kidding. No. See, I was raised right. I was raised by gun owners. I was at 8 years old. I was taught how to handle a pistol, how to handle a gun, muzzle discipline, trigger discipline, how to check a fucking chamber for a chambered round, how to know whether a gun is loaded, to know whether a gun is loaded or unloaded before you hand it to a person. Yeah, I know how to handle guns. No one does that? Bullshit. If no one did that, then there would be no accidental gun deaths. Go look up accidental gun deaths in the United States last year and tell me nobody does that. You're just ignoring reality. I grew up in Central California and I've seen people do that. I grew up in Central Cali and I've seen people be flippant and stupid with guns. So don't tell me people don't do that, dude. You're just a liar. There's I could, if I could pull up some videos right now, I could find you 10 videos quick. I could just go bad trigger discipline. And I could find you 10 videos of somebody trying to kill somebody by just having flippant fucking no gun discipline. Right? Yeah, no. The same thing, Trippa C. I had a BB gun, I had a pellet gun before I ever got a gun. And I was taught to, when my father gave me my pellet gun, he didn't just go, here you go, boy, go shoot shit. He was like, you don't even get to hold this until I show you how it works and until you can repeat to me how you have to be with this gun. So if you want it, you're going to listen. And guess what I did? Why are you so mad? Dude, you don't understand the word mad, do you? Bye-bye. Oh man, people confuse passion and confidence with anger quite a bit. Yeah, just look up Gun Darwin Awards. Yeah. Why so much gun safety talk recently just popping in? I don't know. Like I said, the audience is more responsible for the topics we cover than I am typically on the show. And so it just has come up, and I'm willing to talk about it. I once pointed an unloaded toy gun at my brother. My dad saw this and immediately ripped it out of my hand and yelled to me to never do that again. Yeah. Yeah, my parents didn't let me fuck around. Period, you know. Love how all the dumb arguments I just made for guns are real arguments. No, I know, dude. Paul, do you think we should have mandatory gun safety in school? No, but I do think that there should be a mandatory gun safety course before you can buy a weapon, before you're licensed to purchase a firearm. I think you should. So here's how the process I believe would go if I was just like made dictator, right? You want to buy a gun. You go to a gun shop, you pick out the gun you want, right? You fill out the forms. They do the background check. They make sure that you're clean and that you can have a gun. They don't hand you the gun. That gun gets shipped securely to a new office, so like the DMV, right? But for guns. You go to the Office of Firearms or whatever the fuck, right? And your gun is there. And you go through a training course with a certified law enforcement officer or a gun instructor that's paid by the state. And they will show you the particulars of your gun. They will walk you through loading, unloading, proper handling, proper cleaning, all of that, right? And then you will demonstrate that you know how to handle that weapon. You will show them that you know how to clean it, you know how to load it, you know how to unload it, you know how to fire it on a target, you have proper trigger discipline and all of that, and you get a pass-fail, just like when you're getting a driver's license. You go into the driver's license, you go into the DMV, you sit down, you do a driver's test. If you can operate your vehicle, you get a license. If you can't operate your vehicle, you don't get a license. If you can show that you're safe with that weapon, then that weapon at the end of it is licensed to you and it's delivered to you, okay? And now you have your weapon, and it's a licensed weapon. Your name is attached to it. If it's used in a crime, you will be implicated in that crime. Even if somebody robs your house and steals your gun, that's another part of gun safety. Part of gun safety is keeping your guns from being stolen and used against other people. So that's a gun safe, right? So if you want to have a bunch of guns, you need a safe to keep them in. And if you don't have a safe to keep them in, and that gun shows up on the streets of LA in a murder investigation because you got it stolen out of your house, you don't get guns no more. Uh-oh. You lost your gun rights because you couldn't lock up your gun. Uh-oh. But I was the victim of a crime. You were the victim of a crime who was stupid and left your unsecured firearms out for any old street thug to steal and use against another human. That's not responsibility, sir. Sorry, license revoked. Private gun sales would be over under a Paul dictatorship. No such thing. You own that gun. If you die, that gun goes to probate. That gun does not get handed down to somebody unless they go through the licensure process. No such thing as a private gun sale. No such thing as I went through the background process and then you gave me $20 and I gave Adam Lanza a machine gun. No. And see, if that happens and you privately sell a gun, guess whose name is still attached to the serial number and registration of that gun? Yours. So if you go into the Walmart parking lot and do a straw purchase for an idiot and they go out and kill a bunch of kindergartners, guess who's going to jail? Uh-oh. Not the guy that did the murders. He killed himself at the end of it. You're going to jail because you did a straw purchase. You put a deadly weapon in the hands of a psychopath. You circumvented laws. Period. So you take out the shall not be infringed? No. Would you take out the well-regulated militia? It's not me that shall not be infringed. I don't want to remove that. I don't want to remove anything from the Second Amendment. I think it's a lot of Second Amendment advocates that want to take things out. They don't want to admit that the Second Amendment begins with the words, a well-regulated militia. What I'm talking about right now is the regulation. Your right, as long as you are a well-regulated militia, shall not be infringed. I like that. I really like that. Don't you? For the most part, I agree with you, but entertain me here. What would you do about the illegally obtained guns that are responsible for the majority of homicides? Let me ask you a question. When you say illegally obtained guns, how? They were stolen? Somebody bought them and then ownership was lost due to straw purchases and somebody filed off the thing and made a street piece, right? So somebody abdicated responsibility. Those guns are not being made by a cartel. They're being made by American, German, French manufacturers, Swedish, Balkan manufacturers, Russian, right? You have to have a gun factory to make a gun, okay? So those guns are not just like appearing in the hands of evildoers or whatever the fuck. Those guns started as legal weapons, legally made, legally purchased, right? And then they just got lost in the sauce. Somebody straw purchased, somebody sold it, got sold 5 times, the serial numbers filed off of it. Now nobody knows where the gun came from. Nobody knows who the original owner was, and you got a street piece. Right, stolen, exactly. Remember what I said? You get your gun stolen, that's the last gun that ever gets stolen from you. Because you put a street piece on the street and somebody got hurt with it. You don't have the responsibility to lock your guns up. If you have a gun safe and somebody gets into your house when you're gone for a week and cracks the safe, that's different. You did everything you could and somebody really wanted your guns and came in and drilled it out. But if you just had your gun up in the closet and somebody came in and found it and took it and sold it to somebody who 6 months later killed somebody with it, your gun days are over. Your gun days are over because you've just shown you're a retard that can't be trusted to have a gun. A well-regulated militia. A well-regulated militia doesn't wave its gun around drunk. A well-regulated militiaman doesn't leave his unsecured firearm out so people can steal it. A well-regulated militiaman takes care of his firearm, cleans it, handles it properly. And if you're not a well-regulated militiaman and you oopsie-doopsie fuck up and drop your gun and somebody gets noodled with it, bye-bye. Second Amendment no longer applies to you. You're no longer a well-regulated militiaman. Seems pretty fucking common sense, and it's right there in the Constitution. A lot of gun nuts want to ignore that opening clause, though, and it's so hard because it opens with it. It doesn't just say, you can have a gun. It says, a well-regulated militia being essential to the health and safety of a democracy, the right of the people to bear arms shall not be infringed. That's it. They want to cherry pick. They want you to focus on the last part, but not on the opening clause. The opening premise of the Second Amendment is not you can have guns. The opening premise is the establishment of a well-regulated militia. Uh-oh, I've been supporting an amendment that actually disagrees with me when I say everybody ought to just be able to get guns wherever and have whatever. Uh-oh. What's well-regulated about a yokel selling a shotgun to a retarded kid who uses it to fucking kill a group of kindergartners in a Walmart parking lot? What's well-regulated about a Walmart parking lot off-books sale of a weapon? I'll wait. And like I said, I'm all for people owning guns responsibly, as the Constitution prescribes. I'm a Second Amendment believer. Dirty, dusty D from the salty, salty, salty sea. Hello, my little gentleman. You're so sweet. Can you stay? Can you stay right there? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, no. Come here. Come here. See, the people just want to see you. The people just want to see you. They need to see you. Oh, yes. Let me give you chest rubs. This is your favorite. We do a chest rub. Oh, yeah. That feels good. We do a chin scratch. And we do ears. We do ears. We're going to get the ears. We're going to get the top of the head. And we're going to get a booty spank. That's a good one. A wild dino appears. How old is he? Dino is almost 8. My friend's dog is dying of old age. That's very sad. I'm sorry. The goodest, most handsome of boys. Yes. He looks so old. People were saying, he still looks so young. And then somebody's like, he looks so old. Dino and I are at the same age right now. We're simpatico. We're vibing. We're both really firmly middle-aged. Maybe late middle-aged. You know? Pretty cool. Every time I go without seeing you and then see you again, you look more and more like TJ. Maybe TJ looks more and more like me. You ever think about that? You mad so you lose argue? Okay. Is TJ in his 40s yet? I don't know. I'd have to think. I think TJ is... Can somebody help me? Somebody has to know, right? TJ, I believe, is 5 years younger than me. And if that's the case, I think TJ was born in 85. So he might, if that is the case, he's 39. Yeah. Okay, he's 39. Yeah. So he'll be 40 next year. Because his birthday's in February. I know that. I think it's the 11th. I'm probably wrong about that. And the 9th? I know it's in February. So he'll be 40 next year. TJ is my friend and my co-host on my podcast that I do for a living. I do these for fun. You can tell I don't make any money doing these, but yeah, I have a whole podcast. That's my job. I've been a podcaster for over 10 years now, and that's how I make my nut. February 9th. I think that's correct, yeah. TJ's birthday, February 9th.
No.
What is it? It's February something. 20 something.
I think I made it.
Oh, February 20th, same as Kurt Cobain. You're right. That is it. So TJ will be turning 40 this winter. Kind of interesting, right? He's got one more summer. You and TJ see each other for the holidays? Unfortunately, no. We haven't seen each other since the meetup in Vegas, which was a few months ago.
And before that,
it had been a year.
Yeah, it was
or more.
2021, I think, that you did the, what you call it?
The Pismo trip and the dank D&D thing in LA. Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, we don't get to see each other very often. I really miss the guys a lot. There's, it's so fun, as you might imagine, to just chill with them, and smoke weed and laugh. Do you enjoy podcasting? Yes, I do, but it's a very hard job. Why did you guys move away from TJ? I didn't move away from TJ. I moved away from Louisiana. The year I moved out of Louisiana, we were hit by 3 hurricanes. One of them, the last one, chased us out of the state. So 2 major hurricanes, and it was just one too many. And we literally packed up, and as we were leaving the state, another big Cat 4 was rolling in, did a bunch of damage. So I just couldn't do it anymore. It's too stressful and too crazy living there. You know, no social safety net. The roads are shitty. There's no such thing as a sidewalk anywhere in the state of Louisiana. You know, I just got out. You still talk to Repsian? No, I have not talked to Repsian in many years. Nothing against the guy, I just haven't talked to him. What do you say are the challenges of being a podcaster in contrast to the physical tech labor you used to do? Yeah, so my job is not about heavy lifting and stuff, although I do have to do it sometimes, moving around equipment, setting things up, but I'm not going to claim to you that I do any really heavy lifting for my job, so it's not physically demanding, it's mentally demanding. So what I'm doing right now may seem just like easy, but being open and carrying on a public conversation for hours and hours every single day to keep your instrument sharp so that when you're on the show you sound good, you have jokes, you know, you keep an entertaining personality about you, and you make people want to come back and watch you again. That is really hard, guys. You see how much time I spend in front of you, and I really do enjoy doing these. I do these as like a personal thing, but it's also for my job. You know, you hear me when people come in here, I tell them what I do for a living, and I send them to my job. And I'm doing my job right now. I'm sharpening my instrument that you guys enjoy on the show.
Yeah, a lot of great bits have been born on ideology.
So it's mentally draining. So I will defer to my wife for a moment. Can you explain to them how I am after a big, long 6-8 hour extravaganza of a show?
Your mind can't process a bunch of stuff. You don't really feel like talking much. You have a hard time focusing.
I just am kind of like, all I want to do is either sleep or like vegetate on something.
Yeah.
I can't really interact with people anymore. My social battery's at 0.
Yeah.
My brain is tired. Like, your brain is a muscle. You use it all day.
Well, the show now is like almost exclusively improv.
Yeah.
So it's like doing a whole improv thing for like 6-8 hours.
It's a 6-hour improvisational show twice a week.
Yeah.
And then every day I do something like this. At least once, if not twice, I'll do one of these, and then I'll talk on the Discord for hours. And I'm doing that personally because it brings me pleasure to talk to people. I have a drive in me that wants to connect. But in order for me to do it on the scale that I do it, because I don't do it just for pleasure, I do it for work, it requires a ton of time. I don't have days off. Days off don't really exist for me. Now, I will take a day here and there, but it's like, even on my days off, there are things I have to do for my job. You guys that watch me have seen me do these streams while I'm on vacation and stuff. There's a reason for that, right? I have to keep a touchstone with my audience. I can't let it go a week without you guys hearing anything from me. People forget. People got the attention span of a gnat these days, and if you're in the game, you got to keep in the game. Yeah, discord.gg/Paul, by the way, for my Discord. I chill in there a lot.
But, you know, people wonder, like, why do you guys take so many breaks? It's like, because you're just creatively drained.
Exactly. This is the idea. If we didn't take breaks, they would all hate the show.
Yeah.
Because we would hate the show. We would be bedraggled, sad, empty, fucking...
pulling shit out of a hat that just doesn't make sense.
Yep.
Like,
bickering at each other, but not in an interesting way. It would just be because, like, everybody would just hate coming to the show. Because we never get the time to refill our cups. We're just drained. Our cups are empty all the time.
Like, you see any comedy show, they take breaks.
Yep.
And they're not going as long as you are.
No, not even close. It's like Joe Rogan will do a couple of months of shows, and then he's gone for like a month. Or he's got a cycle. Every content creator has a cycle. And if we did what you guys want, and we're just live every fucking day, all day, that's how you get burnout. I know you guys have probably, being, you know, in your 20s, have probably seen at least 1 or 2 internet personalities flame out or burn out. You know what I'm talking about? where a person just makes one of those sad videos where they're like, this is probably the end of my channel. I don't think I can handle this anymore. My mental health is not great. Thank you for being my fan. Maybe I'll come back someday, but I don't want to lead you astray. I'm probably done. Bye. What do you think that's about?
Yeah, and the people that do put videos out every day, they're usually not live. They're edited.
Yeah.
Like they'll film a bunch of shit on one day and then they'll break it up.
Or a week.
And
they do a big, heavy shooting week, and then they send it off to an editor who chops it up, makes it into content, blah, blah, blah. And while that's all happening, they're chilling.
Yeah.
And they have to. That next big run of content, that next big shooting week has got to be vibrant. It's got to be filled. You got to be sharp.
You guys used to do more pre-recorded content. That's what you'd do. You'd work really hard for a few weeks, and then you'd have the editors chop it all up, and then...
Yeah. That's why I never complain about a break. It sucks, but I know it's actually in the best interest of the show going on for a longer time and better. Yeah. You know, the beginnings of the show, we were balls out. We didn't take breaks. And we got to a point where the three of us had a pretty fucking spooky conversation about, like, do we even want to do this anymore? Because we were miserable. All of us. We were just, like, fucking bedraggled. And we were really talking, like, maybe it's time to fucking, it was a couple, 2-3 years, I think, in. Maybe it's time we fucking wrap this up, fellas. Goodbye and thanks for all the fish,
maybe. And you guys tried the 3-2 schedule. 3 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
Yep. We've tried a bunch of different stuff. We decided instead of calling it quits, moving on and doing something that was a little more mentally stimulating or a little more rewarding or whatever, that we could have a little more creativity in again, we decided that we were going to, A, make major changes to the format of the show to keep it interesting for us, and B, come up with a rotating schedule where we get a decent fucking recharge period. No more of this nose to the grindstone, live 4 times a week, fucking on every weekend. Nuh-uh. We were flaming out. And I got to tell you guys, it could have went either way in that discussion. It was like three years in, and we were just like, look, frankly, I hate doing this show. Frankly, I hate showing up. Me too. Right?
Yeah, people are pissier about it now, but you're actually taking less time off than you were a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah. When we first said it, we were like, let's get a good fucking 2 weeks of content pre-made, and then we can just chill for 2 weeks, recharge, do our vacations, visit our family and stuff.
Do your personal channel
shit. Do our personal stuff. Yeah. And so, yeah, it was like a couple years ago, we were doing 3 weeks on, 2 weeks off. 3 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Now we do, what, 4 weeks, 4 weeks on, 1 week off?
Between 4 and 5 weeks
on. 4 to 5 weeks on, 1 week off. That's where it's landed now, and that seems to be okay. But saving yourself from a flame out. Yeah, well, that's part of being a content creator. People don't assume. There's a lot of people that want to do this, a lot of people that watch this, and they go like, oh, Paul's job is he sits down, hits play, and talks. Well, yeah, that's the start of my job. The end of my job is managing my mental health, managing my business, managing my money, managing my content, changing it, keeping it dynamic for the audience and for myself. Meetings on meetings on meetings. I got a giant meeting today.
And there's other stuff too, like even when you're chilling, you're still reaching for content. Like we'll watch a movie, it's like, oh, I want to talk about that on the show. Or,
that's why I say I'm 24/7.
Or, oh, I read this news story, I want to talk about it.
Exactly.
You have to constantly be like putting little sticky notes in your mind of things to talk about next time.
Even when you're off, especially when you're off, because that's when you have the most brain power to pay attention to the stuff you want to talk about. You ever lose your voice? Okay, so yes, if you guys, I want you to do this. If you want to see what I'm talking about, you can come right back. Go to this channel, go to a video that's like 6 months ago or more, and listen to my voice. I sound like this. Hey guys, what's up? It's Paul Vigo. I don't know. I'm just out here in the morning. I'm just fucking chilling. Oh yeah, fuck you, your band. Oh yeah, fuck you. Go listen to the show 6-8 months ago.
You weren't exercising your instrument at all.
Exactly, because I had gotten so depressed and so sick. I was taking every second as downtime that I wasn't working, and I was not doing what I'm doing now and keeping my instrument, which is my vocal cords, in tip-top shape. Just like any other muscle or part of your body, if you stop using it, you lose it. right? Your brain is that way. Your eyes are that way. Your ears are that way. Your voice is that way. Your breath is that way. It's, you know, you know anyone who is a workaholic, and is it a real thing? Yeah. I think that I might be. I don't know. I was talking to my dad yesterday about our similarities. He and I, now that we're back in each other's lives, are kind of marveling, I think, at the similar path that we took. It's magical almost feeling, but it makes sense. I was raised by him. I had no better example than him, so of course I walked in his footsteps. But some of the stuff that we went through is eerily similar, right? Um, uh, and I don't remember where I was going with that. What was I talking about? Do you ever lose your voice? I was on a fucking roll with it.
Workaholics.
Workaholic, right? I told my dad. He said something to me yesterday, and it was just like me too. Immediately, I just knew that was me. He was like, "If I'm not working, I just lose myself. I just go insane." And I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah. Do you have a backup job?" I do not. I do full-time content creation. We have side gigs, kind of like side hustles. We do merch, we do meetups, we sell DVDs. We have a Patreon. I mean, all of that stuff is how we make our bread.
I got a side hustle.
Yeah, Amelia's got a side hustle that feeds the family, but I do not have a backup job. I don't do two jobs. I'm not working a side job or anything. I work a full-time content creation.
But you also know that if shit hit the fan, you could go back to the workforce.
Oh, it'd be easy. There are times when I've been like real sick or just real down on myself and really hating like the content creation because people are just reflecting the negativity I'm feeling about myself. Oh, you look awful, Paul. What happened to Paul? Paul was much more vibrant 3 years ago, and I'm trying to fight against that. But you're right, and I'm sitting here, and there have been times when I was like, fuck this. I'm done.
I'm gonna go back to Starbucks.
Yep. I'm gonna go put in an app somewhere, and I'm gonna find myself a job. But you know what? I always calm down and pull myself back and go like, how many people actually get the opportunity to do content creation for a living? You know how many millions and millions of people this is their dream job? And you have it right now? And you want to go work at Starbucks again because you're mad at the chat or you're mad at yourself or whatever? No. So I always talk myself down off of it, but
But you have a good resume and good references if you ever did go back.
Yeah. About questioning politicians or taste testing the Rudy coffee. Yeah. One of the things I haven't got any firm plans, but I would love towards the end of this year to do about a week-long trip where it's like a content trip, but it's a personal content trip. It's not, I don't want the guys to necessarily feel like they have to be involved, although if they want to be, I think it'd be great. But for me, I want to do a little bit of activism. So I want to go to Washington, D.C., and I want to do that Code Pink shit. You're allowed as a citizen of the United States to go to the public areas within the Capitol, and you can see public officials walking between meetings and going to sessions. You can ask them questions, and they can choose to ignore you or engage with you. But I think I want to go try and stir the pot a little bit, do a little bit of direct action, and a little bit of content creation as well. I want to get some of these motherfuckers on record. And I want to walk around the Capitol grounds too, to the little parks and stuff, because they sit out there. They're my representatives.
To get into those bars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can do it. I want to find out. I want to spend some time in D.C. where these people hang, if I can get into them. I want to go to the little park that's next to the Capitol because that's where they eat their lunch and have their cell phone calls in between meetings. I don't respect their fucking privacy. They're not private citizens. They're public citizens. They're my servants. They're my employees. They get no time off when they're at the Capitol. They have offices for that. You want time off? Go to your allotted apartment. I won't bother you there. But if you're sitting out in public, you damn right you're my representative, and I'm going to say some shit. I'm going to ask you what you're doing for me. I'm going to follow up on your job. And if you don't like it, don't sit in public, motherfucker.
I would say it's our patriotic duty to criticize our politicians, because there's plenty of countries out there where you can't
Yup. That is the one thing about America that I will wave the flag about. We have a unique place here, and it's disappearing. But the fact that I can look at Josh or John, was it John or Josh Fetterman?
John Fetterman.
The fact that I could find John Fetterman sitting his dumpy ass on a park bench outside the Capitol and walk up and go, "Why are you a genocidal freak?" and see what he has to say about it is one of the most beautiful fucking things on the planet.
That you can rant against all these politicians on your show.
They're mine.
Yeah.
I own John Fetterman. He's mine. My employee. My servant. And you know what? I haven't spent much time in my life reminding my politicians that they work for me. So I'm going to film it. I don't know if I'll get to do it this year. I really would like to. But if not this year, then early next year, I'm going to be in Washington, D.C. And I'm going to be catching these motherfuckers. We're going to see what they have to say. I'm not going to be rude. I'm not going to be violent or threatening. But I am going to be a citizen of this country that wants to know why we're killing people. I want to know why there's homeless tents under every overpass in my state. I want to know why there's money for bombs but not money for homes. I want to know. I want to know why a working person has to work 2, 3 jobs now to make ends meet. I want to know. I want to know how they call themselves family values conservatives when people can't afford to have a family due to their policies. I want to know.
When all these kids are food insecure, where they only live off of fucking, like, school lunches.
Yeah. And you know what I hope? Because I don't think any change is going to come from me doing it directly. What I hope is that other people see it and go, I could do that too. And these motherfuckers' lives are a living hell. Every time the sunlight hits them in the face, there's 5 people there going, "Mr. Fetterman, excuse me, employee, why are you a bloodthirsty maniac? Why won't you listen to your constituency, sir?" I want their lives to be a living hell. I want no public life for these people. You want to go get a steak? Sorry, there's 15 people outside waiting to tell you what a fuck you are before you go do it. And then as soon as you come out of that private property, they're there, walking you to your car. You got a house somewhere near DC? Uh-oh, better not let me find out where it is, because I'm out front of it with a picket sign. I want that, man. I want people to realize that these are your employees. I understand it's expensive to travel, but spending a little money to check up on your employees might be something we all need to do. And I'm announcing my intention to do just that. Isn't that mental torture? Don't give a fuck. Cry me a river. Build me a bridge and get over it. You want to be a public servant? Harden the fuck up or get out of the business.
Fucking celebrities go through way worse shit than that.
Oh my god, dude. You want to talk about mental torture? Read my DMs someday, bitch. I'll show them mental torture. If I had my way, these motherfuckers would have no public life whatsoever. They'd be sneaking everywhere in tunnels, throwing jackets over their head and having security guys obscure them as they go in and out of fucking private businesses. Everywhere they go, hounded. Paul! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you a bitch. I meant the politician. Not you. Sorry. Daughter's Archive was like, oh, Paul! My bad. It wasn't aimed at you. It was the theoretical politician in my head. They're the bitch for saying, yeah, you're mentally torturing. That was the... Not you. It's cool. My bad. Got a little hot there for a second. What's the topic right now? Holding our public officials accountable. Physically showing up to ask them why they're not representing you properly. I would love to ask some of these people, why do 75% of Americans agree that we need national health care and it seems impossible to your body of Congress to ever get that done? Why do none of you care about the people who are dying of treatable illness in this country? Isn't it your job to represent us? Why are you sending money overseas? Why are you sending bombs overseas to perpetuate a genocide when there are people dying of cancer, sir? There are people at the end of their lives that can't get fucking humane care, sir. Why are you not representing me, sir? Why are you not listening to the people you represent? 75% of people believe that healthcare should be a human right. 80% of people believe it's time for a massive increase in the federal minimum wage. Why aren't we doing that, sir? This is not a contentious issue. Why can't your body of Congress get that done, sir? Why aren't you fighting for me, sir? Why did I see you joking around at a press conference, sir, and not mention the people's dying sick in your state, sir? The government should be supporting us. The government is about supporting us. They don't exist other than to create a baseline life for us.
Yeah, we all pay taxes.
People think of the United States like it's some big goddamn fucking force for good on this planet. The United States is a federal government meant to create an overarching structure that is livable for the people that live in the United States. That is the United States. The United States is not some magical city on the hill. It's not some magical world policeman. It's not some magical protected fantasy land. The United States is a group of people that got together and empowered a government to take care of them, to provide a structure for them to have a society in. And that government is run roughshod. That government has gotten crazy. And we've allowed it. Because we just go to the ballot box and vote for the fascists. They can't do nothing. There's only 2 people on the ballot. Get your ass in the street. Dude, quit being a man-child. Ban him. Ban him. Call me a fucking man-child, kid. Lowell. Good one. Get him the fuck out. Child. Talk to a grown-ass man like that, you're going to get your fucking mouth popped one day. I hope you keep it online. You talk to the wrong one, you're going to eat your teeth one day. Order 66 in the chat. This is 1 or 2 dudes coming back on alts. Order 66. Talk to a grown-ass man like that. I meet you where you meet me. You come at me with disrespect, I'll slap your mouth. You hide behind the internet, I'll slap your mouth verbally. Come get in my face with that shit. See what happens. Or better yet, just go do it to anybody. Take your online philosophy of shit talk into the real world and see how long it takes for you to lose your motherfucking teeth. Won't be long, baby. So who will you be voting for? Presidentially, Jill Stein. My protest vote is Jill Stein. She's on the ballot and she's the closest person to my personal philosophy. So I'm voting Jill Stein.
What would you feel about people, like, not necessarily agreeing with RFK Jr., but just trying to make as big of a showing as possible for a third party?
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how people vote. Go vote for Trump. For the memes. I don't care.
But how you vote has no bearing on your right to criticize the politicians.
No.
Because you're still paying
I
taxes.
haven't voted in a national election in like 5 years, guys. I'm gonna show up anyway. I don't give a fuck.
Pay your taxes.
Yep. I pay my taxes. I live here, and you work for me. Would you support a French-style revolution? Absolutely. I think it's 10, 15, 20 years overdue in this country, personally, and that's all I'll say about it. Not gonna Fed post, but yes. Yeah.
You ain't the one organizing it, but you wouldn't be crying if it happened.
What do you think of George Carlin bit about voting? You mean if voting worked, they would ban it? Yeah. If voting was actually effective at helping you, they would have taken the right away from you a long time ago. Yeah, yeah. Voting is a way of funneling passion like I have into do nothing activism with quotes around it. Going to the ballot box, stumping for one of these fucking soulless, hollow automatons that are ruining the world is never going to make the world better. What will make the world better is you setting aside your personal desires and doing some direct action. I'm planning to do mine. I'm not rich, so I can't just go. But I'm making allotments and I'm saving money. And towards the end of this year, I hope to go to Washington, D.C. for a week and see if I can hold some of my representatives accountable in person. Like what exactly? Like joining these pro-Palestinian protests that are going on college campuses all over the globe. Like that. Yeah, like that. My plans are a little more to do with trying to go to the seat of power and ask some questions. But I think you ought to make some plans, yeah. Yeah, I see what leader would be first on this, that, or the other thing in your revolution. I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna Fed post here. I'm just saying, do I support an American workers' revolution? Abso-fucking-lutely. Yes. Yes, sir, I do. And if you think I'm gonna get myself arrested or banned by talking about what I mean by that, you're wrong. You're not talking to a 12-year-old, you're talking to a 44-year-old man and a lifelong political activist. I know what to say and what to keep close to my chest. Jesus is king. Yeah, all right, cool. Tear it down then. No gods, no kings, no masters. You just gave me all the impetus I need to tear Jesus down. King is a synonym for tyrant. In fact, that's what they used to call early generational rulers in Rome. You were not the king, you were a tyrant. So if Jesus is king, that means he's a tyrant, and I oppose him with everything in my soul. So you might want to stop with the Jesus is king thing. You're talking to a leftist. You seem to be chipper lately. I like it. I am. Thank you for noticing. I have a good outlook on life. I feel like I was talking to my daddy about this yesterday. I said, Dad, I don't know what this is, but I feel like I've finally become like a grown up. And he said, What do you mean? I said, Well, I feel like I can like answer questions about myself, and I have a confidence about what I believe and what I am personally that I've just never had. And he was like, Well, can you tell me how you did that, son? He's 70. And he said he doesn't have that. You make no sense. I don't. You saying Jesus is king makes no sense to me. I just told you how I feel about kings. I just told you that a synonym, which might be a big word for you, a synonym means a word that means the same thing. A synonym for king is tyrant. Jesus Christ, so you just told me Jesus Christ is a tyrant, and I'm a leftist. I oppose tyranny. I oppose generational government. I oppose the so-called right of divine rule. I stand with the workers. I stand with the proletariat. I stand with the people of this planet against tyrants and kings and despots, strong men. Okay? So Jesus as king is not really going to convince me to do anything but oppose him with everything in my body. So if I were you, I'd get over the Jesus as king thing and I'd start acting like Jesus. That's my line with Christians now. And oh my God, it works great. They give me the Jesus thing, right? Oh, you know, Jesus died for your sins. Jesus loves you. Jesus doesn't want you to go to hell. Jesus doesn't want you to sin. You know, Jesus was whipped and tortured horribly for your sins. And I will let them get through it. And then at the end of it, I say, you know, your arguments fall on deaf ears. The words of your mouth fall on deaf ears. The greatest argument that you could make for Jesus Christ's divinity is to show me Christ in you. You are called as a Christian to be Christ-like to the very best of your ability. And I don't see that in you. You show me that in you. You show me Christ in you. You show me yourself out among the meek, out among the sinners, not shunning them, but being with them, being among them. You show me that you've taken a vow of poverty and given all of your wealth to charity. You show me that you will not have to go through the conundrum of the camel trying to get through an eye of a needle being easier than you getting into heaven. You show me Jesus in you, that is the greatest argument that you could ever make for the divinity of Christ. The words of your mouth are meaningless to me. Show me. You know what they do? They sit back stunned. It's like nobody's ever asked them to be Christ-like. Isn't that what your church is telling you to do? If it isn't, maybe you're going to the wrong church. I don't know. I'm not a Christian. I do know a lot about Christianity, though. Unfortunately for a lot of Christians. How are you not a Manson fan? I am. Who told you I'm not a Manson fan? I've been a fan of Manson since the 90s. Church is more like a social club now. Yeah. That's not Christ. Christ is not being rich, wealthy, dressing up nice, and gossiping at church. Christ would not be doing that. If Christ had the money that you had, he would give every bit of it to the poor. He would take a vow of poverty and service. He would give his life to the meek, to the sinners, to the least among us. The least among you shall be first, and the first shall be last. You hear me? Show me. Jesus Christ didn't come into live streams and say, Jesus is king, and then just leave. Show me Jesus. Were you Catholic or Protestant? I was raised Protestant. The church my family went to was called the Fourth Street Church of God. And it's in Madera, California. You could look it up. It's kind of a general, multi-denomination, evangelical Protestant church. If you don't love the least, he will say, I never knew you. Yeah, if you turn your back on the least and you sit in your comfy house, then Jesus, you will turn to him and he will say, get thee hence from me, for I never knew you. So show me and show him. You believe he's king, exalt the king by living his life. Take a vow of poverty. Stop trolling the internet. Serve with your life. That is what you are called to as a Christian. You know how few Christians actually even try and rise to that? You want to prove it to me? Be that Christian. I'll see you. I don't need to hear the words of your mouth. Don't profess the words of man to my face. Show me Jesus. I can't see him. Show me him in you. Let me see Jesus shining out of every pore in your body. Let me look up to you as a person who has the courage of their convictions, who gave their wealth away, who took a vow of poverty, who took a vow of service, who walks among the sinners and treats the least as the first and the first as the least. Who would rather see a camel go through an eye of the needle than to allow a rich man into the Father's kingdom. Be that. Chase the money lenders out of your temple. You know what Jesus did when he returned on a donkey to Jerusalem and found his temple filled with money lenders? You ever read that part of the Bible? He found a bunch of salesmen and money lenders occupying the temple grounds. Do you remember what do you remember what Jesus did? Somebody said TJ in the chat. I just read. You remember what Jesus did? No, TJ is Jesus. Freudian slip. Fuck. But let's get back on topic. Freudian slip aside. To Jesus, yeah. Do you remember what TJ did? Do you remember what the Jesus did when he came back to Jerusalem? And he found moneylenders and rich men occupying his temple? He beat them. He flogged them. He flipped their tables and kicked them and told them, "Get thee hence from my temple. Get thee hence from my father's house," is what he told them. The moneylenders are back in the temple, y'all. What do you think the prosperity gospel is? What do you think that fun, shiny car that your pastor pulls up to the nice white church in? The prosperity pimps are back. The moneylenders are in your temple. Nobody's kicking them out, though, because there's no Jesus in Christians anymore. You want me to be a Christian? Be Christ. Show me Christ in you. The words of your mouth mean nothing. The actions mean everything. Yes? If I'm moderating too much, I can chill. No, you're doing all right. I'd say order 66. You can back off of it a little bit, but thank you. No, you're not doing anything wrong, buddy. It looks like they've kind of chilled. But if you see something that needs to be banned, just go. Yeah. You don't have to, though, if you just want to kick back. I know it's not your job. I can also do some bans, you know. It's all good. I appreciate you, though. Thanks for having your head on a swivel. Do you feel, Abby, do you want to be a mod? I see you all the time. If you don't want the responsibility, you can say no. But if you'd like to be a mod, I'd like to make you a mod. I feel like I need maybe a couple more. I see you in here all the time. You seem to be a reasonable person. So if you're interested, just go ahead and tell me you are, and I'll do that for you. If you're not, no hard feelings. I wouldn't want the responsibility or whatever. But keep in mind, it doesn't come with responsibility other than to not abuse your mods. It just lets you take care of something if you need to. So I'll let Abby tell me whether they're, happy to do that. Yeah, I'd be a mod. Okay, cool. You are now. You are a standard moderator. There you go. Welcome to the Spectres. Enjoy your wrench. Whew. I'm sorry if I got a little heated there, but man, I feel passionate about that last thing. I've been thinking about Christianity a lot, and I'm just like, man, Jesus was kind of based. But I'll be goddamned if I see a single shred of him in his temple. His people are not him. His people are not acting like him. They're ugly, they're rude, they're sinful, they're slimy, they're rich and opulent and decadent in a way that he would find disgusting. And man, I'm at a point in my life where, if I saw Christians all around me just overflowing with Christ, dude, I'm at a point in my life where I feel like I might be able to give myself to something like that despite not really believing it. But God, I see so little of that in Christianity and so much of just ugly, nasty, rich people who hate people, hateful bigotry against gay people and lesbian people and trans people and bisexual people and intergender people and non-binary folks and like anybody that isn't like just like them, white and straight. They hate them. That's not Jesus. Jesus would slap their faces and kick them out of his temple. And they act like they're his spokesman here. They come to you to speak of your soul, rich, filthy with the money, filthy with it. And I'm a guy that's read the Bible. I know Jesus. I know what he said. I know what he was about. And you want to walk up to me filthy with your money and your greed and talk to me about my soul? You should start worrying about how you're going to get through the eye of a needle. But that's just coming from a person who read the words of your Jesus. Tired of the hate. Hateful, hateful, hateful nonsense. Bigotry, racism, sexism, classism. Jesus would flog you from his temples. He would turn his face from you and say, "Get thee hence from me, I never knew you." You were an agent of ugliness and greed and selfishness on this planet when I called you to be a servant. I'm depressed looking at you. And I never knew thee. I never knew thee. Never once. Liberal? Yeah, Jesus was too. I'm socially liberal, and Jesus was too. Argue with Jesus. Don't argue with me. I'm just an atheist. I'm just a lost sinner. I'm just a lost sinner talking better about your Jesus than any Christian that's ever talked to me about him. You think Jesus would condemn my soul to hell? I think Jesus would flog you from his temple and turn his back on you for being rich, for being an opulent sinner, for being a selfish scumbag, a rich, dirty filth on his temple. We'll see who's right, I guess, huh? We'll see which one of us stands judgment. You remember Saul of Tarsus, aka Paul from the Bible, unironically, was an unbeliever. He was a doubter. He actually persecuted Christians. The structure of your Bible is because of him. You might want to not turn away from me. You might want to listen to the things that I say. Jesus Christ loves you. Yeah, he loves you too. But if you're a Christian and you profess with your mouth that he's your Lord, you better be in poverty. You better be out among the sinners. You better not be one of these bigots. And you better not open your mouth one time to talk to me about my soul while you are filthy with your money and privilege. Clean up your backyard before you want to talk about my front yard. That's Jesus talking, not me. Before you point out the mote in my eye, look to the log in your own. That's Jesus, not me. Love thy neighbor. That's Jesus, not me. Do you love your neighbor while you're shit talking them for being brown or gay or not having the same religion as you? If so, you spit in your Jesus's face. You think he's going to welcome you to the kingdom because you were a rich, opulent fuck? I know your Jesus. Your Jesus has no room in his kingdom for rich, opulent fucks, and he said so himself. It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom. Why do you think he said that? You think he was just having a thought one day? You think he just threw it out there? You think you can just come to him and ask forgiveness over and over again and not change your heart and your life? Do you think that's how he works? Do you think Jesus came here to justify your sin? That's not what he said in the Bible. Why do I, a fallen sinner, an atheist and an unbeliever, know your Jesus better than you do? Why do I speak with his words better than you do? That ever bother you? You rich, opulent scumbag? You filth? You dirty soil on the white garment of the temple? That's what he would call you. If you were to go to Jesus right now with your heart full of hate and your life full of rich privilege and judgment of other people, and you went to embrace him, he would turn his back on you and say, "Get thee hence from me. I never knew you." Do not think that I have come to abolish the law of the prophets. I've come not to abolish them, but to fulfill them. Exactly. Exactly. Point made. Even if you were trying to make a counterpoint, point made. I don't know what your what the point of your quote was, but I agree. I agree. That's Jesus saying, forget about all the weird laws in the Old Testament. I'm not an agent of the law. I've come to fulfill that law. Okay? It is only through me that you come to the Father. You think you can spit in Jesus' face by being rich, opulent, and judgmental, and then walk into his kingdom? You better show me a camel passing through the eye of a needle if you want to make that argument to me. And that's your Jesus, not mine. Jesus loved the sinners. He said, be among them. Be not you apart from them, but walk among them. Are you doing that? Sitting in your computer chair, typing Jesus is King in a live stream? You think that's what Jesus would be doing if he came back? Ooh, let me fire up a live stream and get in the chat. I'm the king. No, he wouldn't. No, that's not what he'd be doing. I think you know that, though. There's a big part of me, and this is the part of me that lets me know I'm not a person that could be a Christian. This is not a very Christ-like thing I'm about to say, but once again, I don't follow Christ as anything other than a possible ancient philosopher. So the law doesn't apply to me. So let me say this. There's a part of me that hopes that Christianity is true and is willing to submit myself to fire and torture and judgment just to know that the lot of you hypocrites walked to Jesus with your arms open, thinking you would get an embrace, and you were rebuked. That's not a very Christ-like sentiment, but that's what's waiting for you if your Bible is true. If you think you're going to stand in judgment of sinners your whole life, and then profess with your mouth to be Christ-like, and then walk up to Christ, and he's going to embrace you and forgive you and say, come to me, my child, for you are a good and faithful servant. He told you what he's going to say to you. He will turn his back, and he will say, get thee hence from me, I never knew you. Why does an atheist know more about your Jesus than you do? Why can I quote your Bible more freely than you can? And why do I know what Jesus said about your lifestyle more than you seem to? Why do you try and point out the mote in my eye and ignore the log in yours? Why do you not read your Bible and follow it? Why do you not rise to your calling? You profess with your mouth to be Christian, and then you soil the garment of the church with your sin and your opulence and your greed and your selfishness and your judgmental nature. You would walk to a gay man and tell him about his soul burning while you soil the garment of the church? And you want me to join you while you act that way? Like a Philistine? No. The moment I see Christ in the Christian church, I will walk into it with an open heart. But that's not on me. I'm not a Christian. That's on you. Did your parents name you after St. Paul? No, they named me after an uncle. And my father. My father's name is also Paul. My father's favorite uncle was named Paul. That uncle was named after a great-great-grandfather, Everett. So Paul Everett is a generational name in my family. And I'm a Paul Jr. But I would imagine that that chain started. Of course, people that are named Paul because of Saul of Tarsus. You were Paul the Fourth. I don't know what I would be, honestly. I mean, they track the fourth father to son, so I'm technically a junior. My dad's father's name was not Paul. He had an uncle named Paul, a cousin named Paul. Paul is like a family name over there, but if you traced it back, we are all Pauls named after Saul of Tarsus. It's a biblical name. It's an apostle's name. It's like Mark, Luke, John, all of those, right? Joshua, Mary, Magdalene, Hecuba. Everett True. My middle name is Everett, yeah. Yeah. I'm Paul Everett. Okay, I will join your patron because I love your content, Paul. Cool, thank you, Brutal Orc. There's a lot there, so enjoy. PJ for peanut butter. PB and J is what we called it. PBJ. PB and J. PJ. Hey, Paul, I hope your day is going well. You live near Everett. Yeah, I guess kind of. I lived in Bellevue, Washington for a year. You ever got into emulators? Yeah, I've emulated stuff. I don't know. My gaming life is like consumed with a lot of modern games now. I have a friend that's named George Davis the third. His dad was named George Davis the second. His grandfather's named George Davis. They all have the same middle name too. Yeah. Well, that's how it would be if I named my son Paul Everett. He would be Paul Everett the third. And then if he named his son Paul Everett, he would be Paul Everett the fourth, right? I can't have a son, so the Paul Everett stop with me, unfortunately. But it's the way it works out sometimes. Thoughts on men who use escorts? Yeah, it's a tough thing, right? It's like it is a lot of people will say it, maybe even jokingly or flippantly, that prostitution is the oldest profession, but it really is, right? And it's like there's part of me that feels like my heart goes out to women that work that way. Um, and I think that there's like kind of like a propensity and maybe even an inherent abuse in women that sell use of their bodies. And so I really don't like that, but I would not deny a woman the freedom of choice to do that if she so desired. And so I support legalized, regulated prostitution for that reason. I would rather it be safe and not have these women harassed and subjugated by pimps. I would rather they work openly and safely in an environment that takes care of them and tests them and would back them up if a man tries to do something they don't want, etc., right? I don't like it. I don't think it's good for women to sell their bodies that way in terms for their mental health, and I think that bears out. But I also don't think it is my job to stand in moral judgment of a woman's autonomy over her body. Women have been selling access to their vaginas and mouths and bodies since way before historical records can even, I mean, the earliest history has stories of prostitutes. And so, and that's, after writing was invented, there were tens of thousands of years of human existence prior to that. And we can only extrapolate that women were doing this forever. So I think it's silly to try and ban it. And I know I'm not really answering your question, but I'm providing a baseline, right? We'll get to your question in a sec. I think it's silly to ban it, but I do think it is morally right to regulate it so that the women in it can at least, we can have a baseline of protection for them. The kind of illegal prostitution life, the prostitute pimp relationship, I don't know how much you guys might know about that. It's actually kind of like culturally kind of a cool thing. Oh, you're a pimp. What's up, pimp? But like pimps beat their prostitutes. They financially dominate them. They mentally abuse them and groom them into thinking that they are nothing and that the pimp is everything. And they take every dime from that woman that's out there selling her body. And a lot of times the pimp will hook the woman on crack or heroin and be their dealer and only dole out their medicine at that point because they're heavily addicted. If they go and sell their bodies, it's a very exploitative and ugly thing that shouldn't exist. And we've banned it. It's illegal in most states, but it's still happening. And so I say we confront the hypocrisy of that. We legalize it and federally regulate it. We go after anybody that's doing it illegally super hard. We shut down pimps. No more Johns are going to go break the law if they can walk into a clean brothel and point at a woman. I don't like that. I don't like that arrangement. It makes me feel gross. I would never avail myself of that arrangement. I've never used a prostitute or an escort, and I never would. I would sooner be celibate the rest of my life than engage in that. But all that being said, if it's going to happen, I would rather it not be black market under the table.
I think people forget that you can condemn something without advocating that it be made illegal.
Like abortion, right? Yeah. I personally knew a woman, and this is an anecdotal experience. When I lived in Arizona, my then girlfriend had a coworker, and this woman refused to use birth control, but every 3 or 4 months would come sobbing to my girlfriend and want her to come stay the night so she could hold her all night because she had to have another abortion. This is a woman that was using abortion as a contraceptive. I don't like that. I think that's gross. I think that's disgusting. And I think it's emotionally manipulative to put yourself in that position over and over and over again, and then come to your friends and want them to hold you all night and let you sob on their shoulder. When you can put a condom on the man's penis, you can go get on birth control, right? So I don't like that there are people out there that use abortion like it's just a fucking birth control method, okay? I don't like abortion because I see humanity has so many ways to prevent unwanted pregnancies, and I think with just a baseline availability of those resources and a baseline education in how your body works and a baseline destigmatization of using a condom or a pill to make sure you don't have an unwanted pregnancy, it seems decadent and weird that we have so many abortions. I don't like it. Or even just pull out. The pull out method and the rhythm method are not good because people make mistakes.
Well, they're as effective as condoms with typical use.
But people make mistakes.
Yeah.
People think they pulled out in time, but that first shot hit home. Or they fucking just got real turned on and their pre-cum had a lot of it in them. Or, oops, I forgot to take my pill. Or, oops, I didn't track my period right and I was actually ovulating, right? That's why those methods are not recommended, because it assumes that you're going to take it very seriously. And people don't. People get lax with it. People get drunk. Oh, just come in me. It's okay. And then they have a baby, you know?
So, I'm planning on taking a shower, but since we only have one toilet, do you have to use it before I take a shower?
Thank you for asking. I can use that toilet. I'll turn it back on if I need to, if it's an emergency.
It leaked a lot when you turned it on last time.
I know. It's crazy. It got worse as soon as I turned it. It was like it started flowing. So that valve is, there's probably a gasket in there that's just...
or just rusted.
I don't think it's rusted. I think that, you know, they put a rubber gasket as a seal. Those deteriorate, and you have to replace them. And I think it's just rotten.
I just wanted to double check with you. So
yeah, thank you, baby. I just got a vasectomy. No more kids for me. Good idea. There are also men who will coerce you into nutting inside. Yeah. It's both ways. I didn't mean to just put that on women. Yeah. There are men that'll be like, come on, baby, it'll be okay. I just feel so good. I just don't want to pull out. That's how babies are made, despite the rhythm method. That's why, like, the rhythm method and the pigeon pole, as my dad used to call it, is not, it doesn't work. How's your reread of SPQR? Great. I love, I'm like 3 chapters in now. I love that early Roman kind of mythology, but as she tells it through the personalities. I just love like these rivalries, you know, these political rivalries in the early days of Rome and its founding. It's just so interesting and humanizing to read about people having the same kind of things. SPQR is a book by a historian named Mary Beard, and it's a historical account of the Roman Empire as told through like personalities in the Roman Empire. And obviously historical nonfiction. I really recommend it. SPQR was a Roman phrase. It means Senatus Populus K Romanus. It means the Senate and the people of Rome. It was on the banners of the Roman army. Roman soldiers would get it tattooed or branded onto their body. So SPQR, that's what it stands for. Senatus Populus K Romanus, which means the Senate and the people of Rome. And that was, you know, the kind of like credo of the Roman Republic. It's an amazing book. It really is a great book. Well, my 3rd read of it, so it must be pretty good, right? It's just like a really fast book for me. Her writing style is really forward, and I like that. You know, it doesn't fuck around a whole lot. There's more reasons I'm glad I'm gay. Only got to worry about STIs and not that, and a baby. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do got to worry about the STIs though. You guys still got to be safe. Still got to act sometimes like you could have a baby if you really want to be safe, you know? So you got to kind of do the same things we all do. Or you all do. I'm infertile, so I can, you know. I'm infertile and in a monogamous relationship, so I can just, you know me. I can dump it wherever I want to dump it. I'm sorry, that was really gross. God, ew. TMI, I know. Sorry. You didn't want to picture me that way. My bad. Being an open book is sometimes a little bit. You get a little TMI sometimes. You know, what are you gonna do? I'm just joshing you. I know. We should all be adults here. I did say when I created this stream that it is not meant for people under the age of 18. So, W. Paul overshare. What's wrong with you, Paul? Fuck if I know, bro. I'm all happy and I feel good. My body feels good. My mind feels okay and my mind feels sharp. I don't know, man. What the fuck is wrong? I'll be vulnerable here. I saw an escort after being divorced for 6 months and I'm conflicted about it. I don't think you should be. You weren't abusive to her, were you? I doubt. You didn't abuse her. You didn't do anything that she didn't consent to. You paid her. You were kind to her. I imagine those are all true. I don't really think you ought to carry a whole lot of conflict about it, sir. You know? Yeah, you have needs. Sexual congress is a really soothing thing, especially for men. And I can understand the impulse to reach out in that way to a woman that is willing and has that arrangement and stuff. You didn't do anything wrong, sir. Don't beat yourself up about it. But also, you know, just kind of think about what I talked about in terms of like legalizing it and how that would kind of remove the hypocrisy, right? Yeah, you're okay. It's okay. You didn't violate anybody's consent. You saw an escort. Escorts oftentimes don't have that pimp relationship, which is good. They'll work for a company or something. They make their own rules. They decide that they want to give you access to their body. It was okay, dude. It's okay what you did. Don't beat yourself up over it, you know. You didn't hurt her. easier to ask what isn't wrong with you. It's usually the same for me. Yeah. My twin's best friend was an escort for older white men. Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, look, like I said, I don't like it. I think it is, especially in our kind of gray market society. I think it can often be really abusive and bad mentally and physically for a woman. But I also would not stand in any woman's way and tell them what to do with their body. Their autonomy is their autonomy. Lol, thank you. Okay. Yeah, no problem, man. It's cool. I know how vulnerable it is to admit that kind of thing, but I don't want you to feel bad about it. I don't think you should feel bad about it. I'm not really trying to be like a moralizer by telling you I haven't never done that. That's just me. I'm not judging people who have. Now there's a different kind of thing. If you were a dude that was like picking up girls off the streets and paying them in drugs and doing weird things with them and stuff that was really hurtful to them that they just let you do because they need drugs, that's different. But an escort is a young woman that has decided that she wants to make money on the side. Maybe she likes sex. Maybe it's a confidence thing for her. Maybe she had hangups about sex and doing that helps her. Whatever it is, it's not my job to judge her and stand in the way of her doing that. I just think there ought to be protections for her in place. Yeah, she made 10K in a single night, work for older men, and she was proud to speak about how women should do with her body. She taught I and my twin how to pole dance, which was quite fun. Cool. That's neat. Paul looks good with glasses. I'm glad. I thought I was going to look like a nerd. I was really like, I want to pick out glasses that look okay on me, and I really tried hard. Amelia was there with me, but she's so lovely. Every pair of glasses I put on, she was like, "You're so cute," and I was like, "Oh man, I didn't bring the right person. I should have brought my sister or something." And tell me like, "Nope, those are lame. No, no, no. Amelia's too sweet. She likes what she sees in me. That's very nice. That's cute." But I had to really kind of just decide on my own, and I did. And I feel like these are a second pair of glasses. My other pair had to go back. I'm getting adjusted and getting some new lenses on. But yeah, I got these are supposed to be my computer and phone glasses, and then the rest of the day I have a prescription pair. You are cute. Oh, stop it! You're gonna make this Irishman blush, and it'll never go away. I'll have rosacea for the rest of my life. No, I appreciate that. Thank you. I used to try and talk people out of stuff like that, but I'm trying to be better to myself as well as other people. That means like I guess you wouldn't say that if you didn't mean it. So I appreciate that. Thank you. That's confidence building. I don't feel very cute most of the time. I will tell you that I do like the way I look. For maybe the first time in my life, which is cool. I look in the mirror and I'm like, that looks kind of cool, Paul Zigo. Go for it, buddy. And maybe I don't. Maybe I look like a dork, but that's okay. It's about confidence, right? I certainly feel more confidence now than I have ever felt in my adult life. Maybe as I was a child. You're huggable? Yeah. Well, that's what Amelia likes about me. She says, I don't want to be with a dude, and when I hug him, it's like all hard and chiseled and hairy and shit. She's like, I like you because you're just soft and wonderful and warm and big and safe, and like I love to just be with you. And I'm like, ooh, and I know she's not alone. I know other women are like that. And she also appreciates me for my sensitivities. There are a lot of guys out there that are really like fucking into the macho thing, and I'm not denigrating them. That's a thing, right? Some guys are very stoic and very masculine. I'm kind of the other way. I'm a bit of an emotional guy, and I talk about how I feel, and I might even cry if I'm hurting and stuff. And she doesn't, she likes that about me. She doesn't want somebody that's locked down and not in touch with their emotions. Not to say that I'm a blubbering guy. I really don't cry all that often, but I will if I need to, and I will like not let things hang. And if something hurt my feelings, I'll talk about it. Those sorts of things, right? There are women that don't want that. They would see that as like effeminate and not manly and not masculine. I mean, I'm manly and masculine in the fact that I am the primary breadwinner of my home. I work very hard. I bring home the bacon. I take care of the business. If there's something a man needs to do, I jump up and I grab it and I do it. right? If somebody comes to the door and is being weird, I go and I fucking push Amelia aside and I'm in that person's face. If you know, so I'm manly in those ways. I feel the impetus to be a protector and a masculine figure in my relationship, but I don't think that that has to come with being locked down and inaccessible emotionally. You know, Paul, how do you deal with a friend dealing with a drinking addiction? This is going to be hard advice. You ask a very detailed question. I'm going to tell you honestly, okay? I have a friend that is that, right? I have a friend that has a really, really bad alcohol and drug problem, and I've been his friend for a very long time, since high school, and it's very sad. But I had to draw some boundaries for myself because this friend had kind of an abusive cycle where he would be okay and we'd start talking again, even though we live in different states. And then one night I would wake up to my phone buzzing, and it would be a whole bunch of texts from him coming in about just really being self deprecating. Like, I know you hate me, Paul. I know you've always hated my guts. I know you think I'm a loser. I know you think I'm scum. I don't know why you even bother picking up. Please don't hurt my feelings by just going along with me anymore. Uh-oh. Give me a second, guys. I'm about to have a pill stomach. I gotta get my ginger. Oh god. Ginger. Oh, fuck me. Ooh. God, that comes out of nowhere, man. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Woo. Oh, I'm all right. No worries. Oh. Yeah, I couldn't find the ginger. I didn't throw up, but I was gagging. You guys might have been able to hear it. It gets bad. I've been to the doctor for it. I don't have any problems. It's just it's pill stomach. You saw that big fistful of pills I took at the beginning of this. Oh, fuck, that was horrible. I'm gonna have to have my glasses off for a minute. Just let my eyes fucking stop watering. Yeah, I usually have a box of or a container of candied ginger. It is from the mids. It's called pill stomach. I do not like eating first thing in the morning. I'm very okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I know that's worrisome. I actually did it on camera one time, and people were like, "Oh my god, dude, you okay?" I've been to the doctor. I'm taking care of myself. It's I have to take a handful of pills and vitamins in the morning. It is recommended that you eat with your vitamins. If I don't take them in the morning, I can feel unstable mentally and physically, like my blood pressure medicine will lapse and I'll start to get a rapid heart rate and I can get anxiety and stuff. So why not just take the ginger with the pills, because it doesn't help. Ginger intercedes in nausea. It doesn't really do anything until you are nauseous, at least for me. And I don't know, it works for some people and it doesn't work for others. It works like a charm for me. If I start to feel that feeling, but I have such a short time, you guys saw I was talking normally and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, here it is. I had to get up. If I could have went straight to my ginger and popped that in my mouth and gotten a couple chews and a swallow of like spit with ginger in it, I would have not had that gagging fit in there that you guys apparently fucking heard. And I guess my fucking neighbors probably heard it too. I was all the way across the house too, so that lets you know how fucking loud it is. But I am okay. I didn't mean to worry you guys. Usually it just, we just bought a new container and I couldn't find it in time. Paul, do you like math? I do not. I'm actually horrible at math. Horrible bad at math. How are you from Australia? I'm good. How are you from California? I would love to visit Australia one day. I don't know exactly where I would go. I'm thinking like Canberra. I would love to go to like North Australia just for like the beaches and the jungle kind of up there. But I don't really know much about it. But it's on my bucket list to visit your country. Can you do a Wookiee call? Kind of a half-ass one. Hold on. That's about as good as I can do. It's not that great, right? Better than some, though. Paul, go to Adelaide in Victoria. It's fucking beautiful. Adelaide has a winery and a lot of histories, too. Cool. Yeah, beaches in Northern are beautiful. Yeah. I go to Australia. I'm the winter too hot. Oh, don't go to Poland. You'll hate the food. But I like Poland, though, and I like Polish people are chill as fuck. And Warsaw looked chill as fuck. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just fucking tough it out, I don't really need the food to be great to go to a place. I'm not, like, food is like a secondary thing. Hell yeah, thanks, bro. My lady and I loved that. I can do that too. When he's like just kind of like talking. Polish food is amazing. Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. I've never tried it. Get out. Can you say happy birthday, Sophie? Happy birthday, Sophie. It's your birthday? Cool. No, happy birthday and many happy returns. Another trip around the sun for you. You feel any different? I didn't really start feeling different year to year until my 40s. Then it really started to kick in. You're getting older. So I don't know, you might be in your 20s or something. My birthday was the 15th. Oh, well, happy birthday to Daughter's Archive as well. Daughter Archive, yeah. Happy birthday to you. A lot of birthdays going on. That makes sense, though. Spring babies and all that. Did you give a shout out to my friend Boo Kake? Hey, what's up, Boo Kake? Good one. Smoking that 52 pack. Nah, we're vaping on that cake though. You can see right there. It says she hits different. She does. She does. This cake hits different. So yeah, we're vaping today because I've been doing a lot of smoking and that can be a little fucking tough on your lungs. a big 2.5. I feel like a sack of potatoes. Oh man, you're spring chicken. You're a spring chicken. Fuck, 25. This is a 3-gram disposable. Totally want to have a conversation with Paul for a birthday gift. Have you joined my Discord? I converse with people fucking an absurd amount over there. Sometimes I'm in there hours a day, just kind of doing my work and talking. So it's like, you don't even have to have a gift. You don't have to pay for it. It's free. Discord.gg/Paul. Just join, pop in the voice chat, and you can talk to me anytime for free. How about that? Anytime I'm in there to talk. Well, that was the original plan until unregulated capitalism. Oh yeah, that's right. Unregulated capitalism. Life with Ron. Hello, Life with Ron. This is Life with Paul. How are you? And welcome. Thank you for the friendly hand. I won't ever use that emoji. I should. The friendly hand. I'm bad at emojis, but I'm kind of old. I do smileys, like the smiley guys. I do the raffle mouth guy with his tears coming out of his eyes. If somebody does something funny, I'll send hearts to my wife, and I send thumbs up to my co-workers and co-business owners when we're making a decision, and I want to let them know I agree without having to type I agree. And that's pretty much all the emojis I do. Some of you guys have gotten wild with the emojis. Like, some of the stuff you're doing is wild. There's so many when I actually look at it, I'm like, damn, how do you even decide which one? There's like 90 pages of emojis now. Yeah, I'm not very good with the emojis, but I liked that little hand. That was class. I'm gonna steal that one. I do the ooh-woo sometimes. Oh yeah, that. Yeah, chicks will do that. I guess that's a Japanese thing. What state you in? I'm in California. What state you in, man? I'm in Central California, the Fresno area. I don't really care to keep my location a secret. You don't have to tell me that specifically, but yeah, that's where I'm at. Ohio, cool. Yeah, I lived in Columbus for about 3 or 4 months once. The start of my job. I'm a podcaster, so I was on the Drunken Peasants podcast, and they used to be based out of Columbus, Ohio. And so, yeah, I stayed there for 3 or 4 months. Not sure I could handle the snow. Not sure the snow and I, as a California beach bum, got along very well, but I liked Ohio, or Columbus State, or whatever it was. The campus there was really beautiful. The zoo there was really nice. You guys had the Columbus Zoo, was cool. Go, baby doll. Why do you look so pretty today? What excuse you got for that shit? God, you looked hot too when you came out to help me. I was gagging, and then all of a sudden I turned around and my wife is there, and I was like, God damn. You know, that's a weird feeling to be simultaneously nauseous and checking out your hot ass wife's nakedness. Lol, yeah, the winter sucks. I went to Columbus State. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, nice campus, cool campus over there, man. Yeah, just not my cup of tea, I think. I'm just such a California boy. I think the West Coast and I just need to get married, have babies together or something. It'd have to be a polygamous marriage at this point, but yeah, I think Amelia's okay with that. She'd let me marry a state. A hot babe. Hot, bodacious, blonde babes. Baby, I don't mean to make you blush, but you are bodacious. You know that, right? That's a word guys don't be using anymore. But you are, let's see, what else? What other 90s, 2000 terms? You are bang, boom, pow. You ever heard that one?
Yeah.
You've heard bang, boom, pow? You're bang, boom, pow. Let's see. You make me want to ride that donkey. You ever heard that one? That just was a butt thing.
Yeah.
There was a song called Let Me Ride That Donkey.
Let's see.
Hillard, very cool. Neat. You got the check mark and everything, man. Are you a content creator there, Life with Ron? What do you do? Like, what kind of content are you into? I don't see many check marks in my chat. You got that? I don't even have one of those, and I've been on YouTube for fucking 15 years, man. How did you get a check mark, sir? No, I'm kidding. I'm just asking what kind of videos you make and stuff.
Yeah, I think the only other person that's had a check mark was Swegta.
Swegta, yeah. Doesn't TJ have one? No, he doesn't. Yeah, travel vlogs, IRL, and cooking. Awesome, man. I'm gonna check you out. Life with Ron. Neat. Yeah, I've been thinking about maybe I'd do some travel vlogs if my wife and I decide to get, we're thinking about doing like the digital nomad thing maybe. Thinking maybe if the housing market doesn't cool down, getting a big RV and just kind of traveling.
We're gonna start with just downsizing.
Yes, we're gonna see how we deal with a downsize, and I think we're gonna be fine. By the way, we definitely don't use the space that this house provides. We're not filling it with babies. We don't want to fill it with babies, so we don't need it. So yeah, we're looking to save a little money and see how that works. See if we're happier there. But yeah, man, if the housing market doesn't cool down in 2, 3, 4 years, I might be looking at an RV. You know. Would be kind of cool, and I thought, yeah, it'd be kind of cool to do these talks because I do these outdoor kind of vlogs, you know. Be cool if like the scenery changed every time I did it, you know. One day it's a beach behind me, the next day it's a redwood tree, you know. It'd be kind of cool. Next day I'm in front of a Joshua tree in the desert.
And you keep wanting me to do cooking videos.
You should, because your meticulous cooking style just reminds me of cooking videos. I'm all for living my dream vicariously through you. Why don't you just do it, you too? Live your own dream. Oh yeah, Buddy's about it. 118K subs. Dope. Cool. I'm gonna check him out. I'm gonna check him out for sure. Would you ever think to do reading on here? I would listen to you read a book. No.
You're not the best reader of just like a long text.
No. I'm good at sight reading scripts. So I could do like really great improvisational sight reads. But as far as like me reading a long ass text to you, I'd probably be good at it. I just don't have any desire to do it.
Yeah, you haven't put the practice in.
The vertical live thing is so new and weird to me. For years we did horizontal. Now the horizontal lives get way more views. Or sorry, the vertical lives get way more views, but they're interesting and easier to watch on the phone. Dude, I'm only doing this horizontal stream
Or the
because
vertical.
the vertical stream, because I accidentally messed up when setting up a stream, and I was like, screw it, I'll just do I'll try this, and I got like 5x views on that video. It was crazy. I was like you coming in here wouldn't have happened if I was doing a horizontal stream.
I saw the old show did one the other day. I think they're wising up to how that's more popular now.
Mm-hmm. And I told TJ too, I was like, we need to do it for Deep Fat Fry, but I think it would be even more lucrative for him on Amazing Atheist, because you know how many people pop in and go like, dude, I haven't seen you in 5 years. And I'm like, what? I've been out of the algorithm since DP.
Like the shorts have some reach, but I feel like even that's getting throttled a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. So the vertical streams are like algorithmically way different than any other kind of content.
Well, because they show up in the shorts feed.
Exactly. So it's like new people, it's like my channel's alive again for the first time in years. I used to get like 70 or 80 people, and now I break 200 almost every stream. And then views post stream and during the stream, by the time I end this, it'll have 5K views, right? I know a lot of that is just people scrolling through going, nope, scrolling through, but that YouTube algorithm is counting that as a view.
Yeah. But if you had monetized this, that would be more opportunity for that. But this, I don't think, prevents that.
No, but I don't want to do that because
Yeah.
the last time I monetized a channel, it was like a year and a
Yeah.
half
But
before it
like I
got
said,
banned.
like for TJ,
Yeah.
that does have it monetized. That would be
Yeah,
beneficial
yes.
for him.
That's why I told him. I told
Yeah.
Scotty too, because I know
Yeah.
Scotty helps him with his content. I was like, Scotty, you need to do, TJ needs to do like an Abandoned Hope live like this.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, he might get 300-400 people with his sub count that just haven't seen him in 10 years.
Yeah.
He's been algorithmically fucked on that channel forever. And so it might just get a kickstart, you know?
And you want him to do well because it helps the show do well.
I just want him to do well because he's my friend.
Yeah.
Damn, boy, you are heavy. I'm less heavy now than I was 6 months ago. I'm sorry that you feel the need to point it out, though. I actually talked to somebody earlier. I was like, do you ever think, like, man, I hurt that person's feelings or something? Because I asked the guy earlier that was like, why are you fat or whatever. I can't remember what he said.
He said, when's the last time you ran?
Yeah, when's the last time you ran like 20 meters? Right? And I asked him, and he actually told me to see your reaction. And I said, oh, cool, I get that. And I know that's probably true for a lot of people. Thank you for being honest. And I said, do you ever think about the man's, or the person's feelings when you just like pop in and go like, damn, you're fat? Because, you know, like I'm a grown-ass man and I've been fat a long time.
And you've been a content creator.
And I've been a content creator for 15 years. So like being called fat is like, that's, you know, the first fucking insult that I ever heard, basically. And like, so it doesn't hurt my feelings, but I know that there's people that'll get on these, you know, and maybe they're big and they have a few people watching them, you know, and then somebody comes in and just goes like, man, you're fat. And I know that it hurts those people. Like your vibe, subscribed, buddy. Cool, man. I'm actually gonna check you out and subscribe to you too, homeboy. Homeboy.
No homo.
No homo, homeboy. No homo if you want it, but no. I meant your thoughts are heavy. Oh, my bad, Louise. I didn't mean. I'm very sensitive. I'm a sensitive soul. My thoughts are heavy. I get it. I didn't mean to call you out. I'm glad nobody banned you or whatever. My apologies. I took it the wrong way. I think I chose to. I'm a king girl. Oh, okay, cool. What does that mean? Kind girl. Oh, okay. Got it. Thank you. I apologize for calling you mean. I thought you meant my size. And I really am. I'm losing weight. I'm working on it. And so it is kind of shitty when somebody points it out. But I didn't know you meant like the topic was heavy. See? That's the kind of shit I'm prone to, man. I'm a prickly pear. I'm a sensitive soul, though I seem thick-skinned. And it hurts, 'cause my friends always stand downwind. And oh, the shame. Thought of changing my name. And I got downhearted every time that I... Pumbaa, not in front of the kids. Hakuna Matata. Paul, you really can't rewind these vertical streams. That kind of sucks, but I'm sorry. I'm going to keep doing them. More people.
You can always watch it later.
Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing craze. It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's our problem-free a philosophy. Hakuna Matata. When he was a young warthog. When I was a young warthog. He found his aroma like a certain appeal. He could clear the savannah after every meal. I'm a sensitive soul. Why do I remember that whole song? I haven't seen that movie in 10 years.
Well,
or
you
more.
did it like you said, like in your head, you would just go through the entire Forrest Gump.
I can do it with The Lion King too.
Yeah.
And The Little Mermaid as well. I know that whole song. Part of that world. That song is beautiful. I like that song. I sang it one time when we were in the dressing room of a play I was on because somebody mentioned it, and I just started singing it kind of like passively. I wasn't trying to be a performer, but everybody was like, at the end of it was like, oh my God, dude, how do you remember that? I love The Little Mermaid. Me too, man.
Like I said, you could do reading, but I feel like you'd have to like memorize it rather than like.
You've never seen me do cold read. Yeah. That's part of being an actor. You have to get in front of the script and do a cold read. Yeah. And I'm good at that, but scripted. Yeah. So you might be right about like reading a text. Yeah. I'll do Beauty and the Beast. Not my favorite movie. I don't know many from it. I know like. Be our guest, put our magic to the test. Blah, 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 blah. We will do the rest. That's what I know. That's it. Soup du jour, blah, blah, blah. Everything is blah, blah, blah. And blah, 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 blah. And something, 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 something. Be our guest. Be. That's what I know. What's the one Gaston sings in that? Doesn't he have a song?
Yeah, he has a song.
I can't remember what it is. See, that's not my favorite one.
Something about masculinity.
Yeah, it is. Paul, what? 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 Here I am. Say what? If Mad TV ever comes back, they need to add you to the cast. I'm not interested. They'd have to pay me a lot of money. I like what I do. Scrolling YouTube randomly and look who I find. Man, I haven't seen in 8+ years. Happy to see you live and well, Paul. Cool. See? Told you. Well, bud, glad I caught you live. Hope I catch you again soon. Same, buddy. Welcome back anytime. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. I'm probably going to end it here pretty soon, too. Honestly, my phone's getting in that zone. I do want to do my stretches real quick. I've got maybe another smoke in me. I don't know. I'm going to do my stretches. Give me like 2-3 minutes here just to get my a little bit of sun on my face this morning. I didn't do it.
What is it, boy? What is it?
Oh.
Need some attention. Some attention. No. Why are you stepping on my foot, D?
Whew. Tingles in your fingertips, blood flow to your extremities, a little bit of like a heart pump. I can tell you guys, man, I'm addicted to it. That is like a drug. That is like a drug.
I'm trying to get a little thing out of your paw.
Oh, that was like a drug. So good. My body feels awake and alive. My face feels warm and filled with blood. My hands feel strong. It's like a whole reset. I do it 3 times a day, and it's like, my God. And it's really just like 3 poses, and I'm trying to add a 4th. I'm trying to do a tower. My balance isn't there yet. So I do a tower towards the end, or try. Just do a yoga stream one of these days. Nah, I don't, because I'm not a teacher. I do what works for me, and I have a very fucked up back, okay? And it probably wouldn't be all that beneficial maybe to normal people. Who got me into yoga? Myself, kinda. I mean, I've tried it on and off. Old school, no glasses, Paul. Thanks for reminding me. I'm still not used to wearing them, but I do need them. You guys are very blurry. And now you're very easy to read. Mostly focus on core exercises. Yeah. I mean, I am. Core and flexibility right now. While I'm working up to a more cardiovascular intensive kind of workout. But for now, I think I could probably do cardio with yoga if I just extended my routine. Instead of 2 or 3 minutes, I extend it to maybe 5 or 10. I think that my cardio would be benefited by that. Paul, I have a super bad back, like I can't even lay flat. Are there some exercises you can do to help with back pain? Yes. I can go through my routine and have Amelia film me if you guys really want. If the chat would actually be interested in that, I'll do it right now. It doesn't take, it takes 2 to 3 minutes for me to get through my routine. I'll just have her film. I won't be able to kind of talk to you about what I'm doing, but you can see the poses that I use that work for me and my body and my back. Be happy to do that, but only if the chat really cares to see it. If it sounds boring or weird, then I will not do it. Amelia, are you comfortable doing that with me? You'll just grab my phone for me and just point it and film me? Okay. And just make sure they can see my body. Yeah, I didn't think that it would be all that interesting, and it's because it takes so short, I just walk over into the sun and I do it. So yeah, just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Let me sit down and let the last stretch set in, and I'll do them again. And like I said, I do them as many times a day as I feel like I need to. So yeah, I'll do it. I want to see. Okay, fair enough. It's not going to be all that impressive. I'm not a yoga master, guys. It's not going to be like Dalsim or something. But I just do a few poses that I've learned. Breathing exercises too. You guys could hear me over there breathing, exhaling and inhaling very deliberately at certain parts of the pose. Vosh is live. Good for him, buddy. Have a good day. You too, Pizza 95. You have a good day. Yoga OnlyFans. Not gonna happen. But it'll give you guys a good look at like my flexibility versus my body type. It might inspire some of you to try it. I'm not going to do any floor work. I do standing work yoga right now because at this weight, it's kind of hard for me to get up and down off the ground. And it's really hard on my bad knee to do that, and my back. And so I'm working my way up to that. I do standing poses right now, just stretches. All right. if Amelia is not busy, I'll get everything set up for her so she can do this. Let's see. I want to make sure she doesn't have to be on cam. So stand behind me here, baby, real quick. There we go. Okay. So you can man the cam now. And just get, I don't know, I want to face the sun, but I don't want you to stand in dog shit. So I guess I'll back to the sun. Is that okay? Can you see me okay?
Yeah.
You can back off too if you can't see my whole body.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat sees me okay.
Mhm.
All right. So I start with a knee bend, just a very like strong like. This is deliberately like flexing those joints, right? Waking up the legs. So I'll do a few of those, right? And then I go directly, I don't know the names of these poses. I go directly into this, very slow and deliberate with my shoulders engaged, all the way up to this, right? Then this evolves to this, right? Lock the fingers and make a bowl, and you bend left, and you want to make a circuit, right? So you go. Then you go the other way. Keep your knees flexy if you can remember to. Don't lock your knees. Arms down. And I do my neck forward. As far as you can go, kind of force it. Get a stretch. Back. Look straight up in the sky if you can. Left. Touch your ear to your shoulder if you can. Try not to use your shoulder to raise. Bring your neck to your shoulder. And then a roll, right? So starting from here, down. All the way. Do that twice. Stop back here. Bring your hands up again. Now, inhale. And exhale as you slowly roll forward. Go down and deep into this with your knees flexed as you feel good. And let gravity hang your thoracic spine, and your lumbar spine opens. Okay. Hold this. I can put my palms on the ground if I want to, but I don't feel I need that deep. I'm gonna roll back up like I'm stacking my spine one vertebrae at a time. Like this. And then I've been trying at the end, and you'll have to laugh at me for this one, to add a tower as my kind of final. A tower is gonna be hands up, balance on your left foot, right foot up. Can't hold it for very long, but I try it. Hands up, balance on your right foot, reaching as high as you can, left foot up. My center of gravity is very bad, as you can see, but that's what I've been doing. There you go. Thank you. Okay. Oh, okay.
So, like, this is what you're trying to do?
Yes. That's a tower.
I think I can.
Your balance is great. Thank you for sharing. Okay, cool. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I think this is like one they do too. Like where you do your big
I can't get there yet. I tried that one, but the tower, I can get the pose.
Yeah.
It's just my balance I don't trust.
I would have us like do this at Amazon before we worked.
Yeah. I do those too. I do like the
that
that's
way
that
you could
front
like actually
stretch.
hold on something if you wanted to.
And you do your hammies. Very good job, Paul. Very rudimentary, but I'll tell you what, I was completely sedentary just 3 months ago. Completely. I couldn't have done any of that. When I bent at the waist 3 months ago, I couldn't even get past my knees with my hands. My back was so locked up. I couldn't have reached and stretched my hands that high that I did just there, because my shoulders were locked up. And so the flexibility that I've gained from it alone has changed my whole life. Not to mention the fat loss and the core strength. I'm engaging a lot of muscles when I do some of those poses, and that helps, you know. So I'm building up to things, and that's where I'm at right now, and it kind of gives you an idea where I was before, because that is about all I can take at one go, you know. My back starts screaming at me, not in a bad way, but in a, okay, you have stretched me, now please let me rest, and I have to. I have not done hot yoga. I've considered it, but I'd have to find a studio that was near me, and I'd like to try it maybe one day, but I'm just not in the place where I can do floor exercises very well. And my understanding is that hot yoga has a lot of floor incorporation, and I could hurt myself getting up and down like that. I know it's sad, but I mean, it's just true. I have a really bad knee. Both of my knees are not great, and I have a really bad back, and so it's kind of hard for me to get up and down at my size. What do you do for working? This. I have a podcast. I've been a content creator for 15 years here on YouTube. Paul, you are my inspiration. You're the reason in my life. You're the inspiration. You give feeling to my life. You're the inspiration. I don't want to lose it. I don't want to hear you say, yeah. Who sings that? Isn't it Air Supply? I don't know who does sing that. Is that Toto? Chicago? I don't know who does sing that. Where'd you get the shirt? I don't know. Some internet company that does high quality band merch recreation shirts. So this is an actual shirt that you could buy at a Pink Floyd kind of merch kind of thing at a concert in the past. And then they do it on high quality shirts. This one's a tie-dye. Really proud of you, dude. Thanks. Paul, no singer? Yeah, no, I'm not. I can carry a tune though. I've got pretty good tone, pretty good pitch. Just not a very well trained singer. I used to sing in the chamber choir. I could have blown your fucking head off back then, but I was singing every day for hours. I'd sing for fun now, you know. Kind of music do you bump? Yesterday I took a long trip to go see my dad in my hometown, and up there, what did I bump up there? I started with some Run the Jewels. That wasn't hitting the way I wanted it, and so I threw on some Ray Scrimmered, and that fucking hit the way I wanted it. That was a chill vibe, so I think I listened to Ray Scrimmered all the way there. Then on the way back, I just hit the thing on my wheel and I said, play Tool for some reason. And it started rocking Tool. So the way there, Ray Scrimmered was the vibe. On the way back, Tool was the vibe. I am just a worthless liar. I am just an imbecile. I was like, okay, this is it, yeah. Since you have stage experience, would you ever be part of a musical? I've actually acted in 6 musicals. I've been a primary character in 3 with a solo in 2. So yeah, I would and have. You into alt rock? Yeah, I'm a kid of the 90s. I was born in 1980, so of course, yeah, of course. What's your favorite Tool song? Hooker with a Penis? You know what's it when that is? I met a boy wearing Vans 501s and a dope beastie tee, nipple rings, new tattoos, and he claimed that he was OGT from back in 92, from the first EP. And in between sips of Coke, he told me that he thought we were selling out, laying down, sucking up to the man. Well, now I got some advice for you, little buddy. Before you point that finger, you should know that I'm the man. And if I'm the man, then you're the man, and he's the man as well. So you can point that fucking finger up your ass. Yeah, that's my favorite Tool song. I know it's kind of a cliche one, but easily my second place. And sometimes, if you ask me at the right kind of day, my first place is Anima. I just love the way it starts. That I get pumped immediately because it's like, and I'm like, oh shit, here it comes. And you're just like, okay, I'm there. The pot is really good too. Gay son or thought daughter? Why not? ¿Por qué no dos? ¿Por qué no dos? I'll take them both. Why not? Gonna have to handle the thought daughter though. Gonna have to beat up some little pencil dicks or something. But ¿por qué no dos? I love the content. Can you shout out my little brother? No, I can't, but thanks. Señor, por favor, ¿por qué no dos? Solamente California, solamente la raza, solamente mexicano, solamente brasiliano, solamente la gente, traigan la madera, traigan los clavos, son resucitaremos, mano con mano, corazón con corazón. Can you finish that drunk friend story? Oh shit, yeah, man, I started puking, huh? I started trying to. Yeah, so yeah, I had a friend, very close friend of mine, friends with him for a long time. He's an alcoholic and a drug abuser, and he would go through these things where he'd get real dark, and he would text me in the middle of the night and say, I know you hate me. I wish you would just have the balls to tell me what a scumbag I am. You hate my guts. You never liked me. You hang around me because you feel bad for me, because you don't love me, this, that, and the other. And I used to respond to him back when we were younger. I had to draw the bridge because he was just using me as a sounding board when he was really drunk, and I was really reinforcing and being an enabler of his bad behavior. And unfortunately, me cutting him off due to that has led to me and him barely talking. The last time I talked to him, his problems were still very forward in his life, still very much abusing alcohol and drugs. And I love him to death. He's like my brother, and it makes me very sad to even talk about it. But yes, I had to cut him out of my life for my own mental well-being and for his. I don't want to be his enabler anymore. You gay? I'm bi. So I guess yes, technically. Um, but I also am attracted to women. I'm married to a woman. We are all a little gay. True. I see the world in spectrums. I see sexuality in the same way. Those flies are just gonna fuck with you all day,
Yeah,
baby.
I'm just gonna
You just should go
go
inside. You look miserable swatting those poor bastards. For whatever reason, flies don't like me. I think I might stink to them. They do land on me, but not to the extent that they will do Amelia. They really get bad on Amelia. I think I am going to end it, though. It's starting to get warm out here. I'm feeling good, though. I'm feeling limbered up. Last questions. That's your timer, okay? Because I'm done sitting out here with the flies and the heat. So, last questions. You got any last minute fucking things? You got a cigarette's worth of time. Cool guy, Paul subbed. Cool, welcome. Thank you. I'm not leaving yet. You got some time. You got 3 minutes, by my reckoning. Favorite tree? The Joshua tree, which is a particular tree to the high desert here in California and some of the low desert. And not just in California, but you can look it up, the Joshua tree. Beautiful, beautiful, strange alien tree. Roman Empire or Mongol? Mongol. Could I hug you at the next meetup? Yes, I give free hugs to anybody. Obviously, I don't force them on people, but I am a hugger, and I am open to giving you a nice big hug. So yeah, just come up to me with your arms out, and you'll get a nice big warm hug from me. I've been told I'm a really nice hugger, so, and I like it. It's a very human thing, I think, to give hugs, and I like doing it, so sure. As long as you're cool with it. I'm going to give you a hug then. You may. Come to a meetup. Or you see me on the street and you need one, just say, hey, Paul Zigo, I need a hug, and I'll give you a hug. I promise, okay? There's too many people out there denying hugs, man. Free hugs. I want a female hug. Well, I'm sorry I can't give you that. I do have man boobs, though, if that helps. You know, you can feel some boobs against you. It might be nice. I have long hair, and I use Pantene. So it kind of smells like a lady's hair. You could pretend with me. I'm cool with that. Would Gandalf solo the Harry Potter verse? Yes. Paul, are you good at bowling? No. I have bowled. I'm okay. I'm probably better than the average person, but I'm not good. What do you think of canned Starbucks coffees? I've never tried it. Paula. Okay. My mom acts like hugs are toxic and unwelcome. That sucks. Some people don't like them, and that's cool. I never force a hug on a person. But yeah, I'm a hugger. If somebody walks up to me for a hug, I usually will just give it. I don't care if I know you or not. We're all brothers and sisters, man. There's too little love between us. Every man, woman, and child on this planet is brothers and sisters. We're all siblings on this fucking rock. We might as well love each other when we can. How often do you walk Dinor? Dinor is not a walk dog. He doesn't like going on a leash. He's kind of nervous outside. He gets scared of cars. He gets scared of other dogs. He's a very high-strung little guy. And so Dinor's exercise, which he needs a lot of it, comes in the form of endless fetches. Dinor loves to fetch, and he will run himself ragged doing that every day, multiple times a day. And so that's how Dinor gets his reps in. I know that, you know, they say it's good to walk your dogs, but he just, he hates it. He hates it. He hates going. He will get real sad, and you take him out, and he's scared and jumpy and all of that. Yeah, he plays tug of war because I just never really fully leash trained him because he was so scared of everything. And he's actually pretty good at healing. But you can't really take your dog out in public off a leash. So if he's on the beach with me, I took him down on the beach. We had him right off the leash. It don't matter. He's not like I'm gonna run after a dog. He stays real close when we're outside to me. I'm his alpha, his pack leader, right? So he won't leave very close perimeter around me. So he's good like that. But it's just unsafe to have him off the leash in most public places. What do you look for in a roommate when moving out, considering taking my little brother? Ooh, I would recommend against that. Family, friends, and roommates don't mix. Roommates, even if they're good ones, sometimes there's drama, and if you add family drama or friendship drama to that, it's not good, man. I would recommend against that. I mean, you can do it as long as you guys are chill together, but just know what you're getting into. Money is money, and responsibility is responsibility. And if somebody that you love falls down on it, it's a lot harder than somebody you don't know. Very close to the end now, guys. That's about a drag or two, maybe. If you're his alpha, doesn't that mean he sees you as his parent? No. An alpha is a pack leader. So he sees me as the dominant personality in our pack, which would include me, Amelia, and Cricket, and him, obviously. He sees himself as somewhere in the middle, a beta. And dogs are pack animals, being their relationship to wolves, they're social animals, and they have a hierarchical understanding of the world. And I established myself as Dinor's alpha because I know how to train puppies. I've raised a lot of little puppies into dogs. If you let them think they're the alpha in the house, that's when you get a bitey dog, an obstinate dog, a dog that destroys things, a dog that whimpers and whines for every little thing. They will be a dog that think they run your house even if they don't. But I established dominance over Dinor using a couple of things I know how to do. The most effective one is when they get really rowdy and are trying to assert some sort of dominance over you, you very gently flip them onto their back, put your hand on their chest, apply enough pressure to hold them there, loom over them and bare your teeth. I know it sounds weird. You loom over them and you go, and you look them in the eye, and until they look away. Once they look away and their body goes limp, then you let them up. And then the next time the puppy starts acting like it's the ruler of the roost, you do the same thing. This is what a mother dog does to her puppies, or a father dog, right? So if you do it as a person when you have a puppy, then that's how you get a puppy that is not an asshole. Anyway, a dog that's not an asshole is a grown dog, not aggressive, not food aggressive, not bitey, all that. Anyway, I gotta go. It's been real. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow, maybe not, but I will see you on my show tomorrow, for sure. So I will see you tomorrow, for sure. All right, bye. Come join my Discord, by the way, discord.gg/Paul.